third in one of the trotting races last week, was third in this particular race 12 months ago, and he's been really well supported late on, 10-1 into sixes, but a very solid favourite, Mike, at 7-4. That's number 7, Hugo de Tourtière.
Many thanks, Martin. And you can see what a warm-up they're having, some of these trotters. They've already done a complete circuit of the track, and they're trotting back down to the 1,700-metre start. A lot of them are trained and owned by the drivers. We're looking at Verrazano Bridge. Adrian Berger. He trains this one for the owner's stall, Nyberg Stable. And others, I'm just looking down there, I mean, Jean-Francois Jonner, who owns and trains Super Berry Chenou, he's driving that one as well. Also on the right of your picture there, two similar colours. That's the colours of Jean-Francois, and the black sash there is worn by Vasco de Grau. So you try and pick those out. Jean-Pierre Serafini, who's an amateur rider in the black sash, is riding Vasco de Grau. So one or two similar colours. He's just hopping off there and sorting out some tack. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. He's got some headgear on as well, hasn't he?
Mike, I just wanted to ask you about the whole plus 25 metre situation at the start for those people that might not understand. How does that work out?
Yeah, this is a handicap system, Hayley. Instead of giving them more weight as such, Super Berry Chenou, Verrazano Bridge and Vasco de Grau all have to give the others a 25-metre start. Just to try and level things up.
Yeah, I've been asking questions all week and everyone says the same thing, that the weight of the driver on the snow is irrelevant. Whether or not it's different when you are trotting these horses on grass or tarmac, different situations, but that is why it is so unique when you're trotting on the snow, that basically the weight makes no difference. So as you say, you have to give away or gain ground to make things fairer in that handicap system.
I think that, Hayley, the position that these drivers adopt as well on these harnesses behind there is extraordinary. You've got to be quite a gymnast and athlete to get into that position before you start driving these horses.
I think it's difficult to keep your legs up in that position. It really doesn't look comfortable at all. I think that the frames that they're sitting on are quite special and unique and tailor-made to each rider, but some of their legs just look flat out, don't they? You can see that rider there on horse number 1, my favourite named trotting driver, Jean-Francois Jonner. He's just resting his left leg on the side there.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him at all, even before he has to put it up. But he's one of the owners, trainer drivers, as you were saying. So it's amazing. And some of these horses are younger and they build up. He's 14 years old, Super Berry Chenou, and obviously has to give away the distance of 25 metres at the start. But it looks, Mike, as though they might possibly be coming into line.
Well, they're getting ready, aren't they?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're not quite ready yet. That's there's Verrazano Bridge. He's got a blue cap on, blue cheek pieces on the horse too, which will help us pick him out when they're coming down the straight. What was the horse on the right there? Super Berry Chenou. Yeah, some of these that ran last week over 400 metres, sorry, 4 furlongs, 800 metres, were not at all suited by that. But they had to put on some sort of show last week.
There's Hugo de Tourtière in shot there. Ran an absolute belter to finish second last time out. Fanny Homburger on board this afternoon. Obviously is one that was running over minimum trip, like none of them really enjoyed, but has shown a liking at least for the snow, so that's pretty good.
Verrazano Bridge, yeah, we've seen him many times. He's got that blue harness there behind. Must be great fun getting involved with this, mustn't it?
And such a diversity of ages as well. Like we had an 18-year-old who's still at school, 19-year-old taking part, and then you've got much older drivers as well. So it's something you can keep doing from starting out in the early days and keep going. So last week we had Super Berry Chenou back in third. That horse giving us some ground away at the start today, 25 metres. Apollo Sanri opposing back in fourth. Verrazano Bridge was fifth. And then further down the field we had Romana Lap and Vasco de Gras. So a lot of these back out, but over probably a trip far more desired than last week. But at least we know there was a few that got on the conditions, because it is such an unknown factor. Are they going to like the snow? Are they going to enjoy it? Are they going to hate it? And the only way you can find out is bring them up here to St. Moritz to find out.
And how did you find the kickback, Hayley, when you were riding out for Christian von der Ecke the other day?
Painful, not
Is it
going to
really?
lie.
Yeah,
It was different, and I had a ski helmet and eye shield, goggles, face mask on. And I tell you what, I'm not as tough as some of these riders, put it that way. They are brave folk that don't have much protection on their faces. It hurts.
Daniel Gruter, who owns Apollo San and trains him. And we're getting ready. Here we go. Looks like we're just about set. And I think they're off and racing. They are indeed. And away they go. And Apollo San got an absolute flyer. And also right up there as well, and she's sitting prominently too, with Cliquot de la Torre prominent. The chasers, Superberry Chanou, Verrazano Bridge and Vasco de Gras have got a little bit of ground to make up as they come up the home straight for the first time here in the beautiful conditions at St. Moritz. And out in front there, it's Ruby de Gillet and Armand Kohler, the leaders. From Anchi in second place, then back and forth is Cliquot de la Torre, making up some ground then just behind these in the yellow sash, Aladdin Volsan. At this stage, we've got Vasco de Gras quite outpaced at the back of the field, alongside Votre President as they turn away from us. And it's still out in front here, Ruby de Gillet, who leads by a couple of lengths at this stage. Anchi racing in second place. Cliquot de la Torre is in third spot. And then on the outside, the red cap of Apollo San. He's always been quite handy in the early part of the race. Verrazano Bridges' yellow jacket is sitting just behind and travelling quite nicely. Aladdin Volsan is next as they continue down the back straight. I tell you what, Superberry Chanou is making up ground stealthily on the outside, number one in the white with the disc. And the favourite, Hugo de Tortiere, sitting in the middle of the field, is just being patiently driven along at the back, but he's making ground on the outside now. The red and white diamonds, Hugo de Tortiere. At the back of the field, still trying to make up ground is Vasco de Gras, another one that's still got quite a bit of work on at the rear of the field as they take the turn, is Ramona Lapp. And as they turn down the side of the course for the final time, it's all to play for here. And still, it's Apollo San that comes now through to take over. Apollo San in the hands of Daniel Gruter, but chasing hard now, Hugo de Tortiere is being cheered home by the crowd here. Apollo San on the inside, Hugo de Tortiere with his white face is lunging late on the outside, is beginning to get up the favourite here. Hugo de Tortiere on the outside, Apollo San battling away, but he can't resist the charge of Hugo de Tortiere. The favourite comes home to win for Fanny Omberger and wins by a couple of lengths from Apollo San in second. A good run by Superberry Chanou back in third. Verrazano Bridge was fourth, and they were followed then by Aladdin Volsan in fifth place. And then just behind that one there was Ramona Lapp. So a very patient ride there from Fanny Omberger on Hugo de Tortiere. Made up the ground on the turn out of the back straight, and was too powerful coming home clear of Apollo San. So the favourite goes in, much to the delight of the crowd here, Hayley.
Yeah, everyone's really enjoyed that, but that was a perfectly driven race, wasn't it? It was a great race to watch the way it unfolded. She jumped off, had a nice position early, didn't rush the horse up, challenged down the back straight, came wide, it was lovely and smooth. You could always see that she was just going to produce this horse at the right moment. He was gaining throughout the race at every stride, really. It was slow motion stuff. It seemed to go on a lot longer
Yes.
than what we were enjoying last weekend. It was a much more like it. You could actually breathe during the action. And Hugo de Tortiere goes one better from last week. Clearly a horse in really good form. And it was a long-time leader, Apollo San, who did so well out there. I thought for a moment he was going to keep going for Daniel Gruter, who trains, drives and owns. But unfortunately, he was just setting the race up for Ugo de Tortier to come and pounce late.
Got quite a bit on to do here, Ugo de Tortier, entering the back straight, Hayley, isn't he?
Oh yeah, it was
really has.
Very much what we'd call a Jamie Spencer-esque ride back in the UK, wasn't it?
Imagine Jamie having a go at this.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how he'd cope with it, but I'm sure he'd give it a good go. But yeah, Ugo de Tortier was, I just think, so well
Second
produced,
from the right there with his white face. Now he's pulling wide.
Yeah, coming out really wide around the opposition. It was, you know, I just think tactically a very astute ride. And out in front still, Paulo San cutting the running, has done very well. And then staying on quite nicely late on was Super Berry Chenot, who you pointed out and explained how that horse had to give the start away 25 metres before we were racing. So that horse has continued to show up the best of the horses that were given that disadvantage at the beginning of the race. And then Verrazano Bridge back in fourth place has done well there to make up some ground.
First two drawing clear here, Hayley, turning into the straight, aren't they? It's between the two of them. They just pulled clear of the rest of the field, didn't they?
Yeah, they've come a long way clear. These two probably the ones, I'm sure, in time that will be needing to give away the 25-metre start, the way that they've motored on. It was a funny start, wasn't it? Some of them just breaking into stride as well, which I don't know the rules inside out, if I'm honest with you. I know obviously you've got to trot, but some of them just fresh and lively. It's so hard to keep a lid on them when they're buzzed up, enjoying being on the snow, isn't it? So yeah, a couple of them, I think, just a brief stride. I'm not sure how the penalties work in that situation.
They'll be keeping a close eye on them, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh, look, like the rugs got on very quickly afterwards. Isn't that great?
Oh, they're so well looked after up here, and the facilities as well. That's another thing that I've enjoyed seeing. Beautiful setup here, wonderful stables that you know match anywhere in the world really for horses abroad travelling, and the way they're looked after. And it's so warm, Mike.
I tell you, you know what? The sun is shining brightly here, but the temperatures are still pretty cold. We're expecting to get to around about 0 as the temperatures warm up, as the card ends at 2:30 local time. And it's been real fun watching this, just watching Ugo de Tortier. He's getting prepared to come in. Most of the runners have got big blankets already placed on the back of them, just to keep them nice and warm, obviously, as they cool down in this sub-zero sunshine. Old Super Berry Chenot's coming in with your favourite rider, Jean-Francois.
Oh, Jean-Francois. Just love his name.
Jean-Francois Jeanne. So Martin will no doubt be chatting away to Fanny Omberger pretty soon. Nathalie Gonin, we've got to give her a credit because she owns Ugo de Tortier and trains him as well. And I can see Natalie out there just supervising the horse for a moment or two. And coming back in now as they get ready for the presentations.
I do love the way the horses are really focused and central in the whole of the presentation process. Normally, obviously, the horse is taken away for the connections, but they love to keep the horse here. People love seeing horses up here in St Moritz. It's quite unique, of course. There are the lovely sleigh rides that you can have up the mountain and back down if you don't fancy skiing to get back down to your hotel or back down to the town. But it's great, the amount of people that just watch the horses at the training complex in the morning, which is the Olympic base for the Swiss teams as well. So quite a prestigious place for these horses to be based. The polo horses exit stage right, and that's when we all come in for the 3 weekends here in St Moritz. So it's such a unique event. You can watch them train in the morning, anyone can see them out. And it's a beautiful sight. They're so well looked after as well, fed the best, and they're, like I say, their stables are very warm and toasty and cozy. You wouldn't think you were in a yard. It's actually warmer than any stable I've been in back in the UK. And it's nice. They're so well looked after here, wrapped up before they go and train in the mornings. They get their hoofs all greased up as well. So it's yeah, it's something pretty special, I have to say, and something I'd recommend for everyone and anyone to come and enjoy here at the White Turf.
Well, there's Bert on the background. He's the master of ceremonies here at the White Turf, and they're just getting ready now. So Gamma Catering has sponsored this opening trotting race, and we've got Herr Peter Gamma who's obviously the chairman, and Frau Anke Krause, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Gamma Catering, and that's who Beat there is introducing to the crowds here as we wait for Fanny Homberger and Nathalie Gonan to receive their prizes. There's a much bigger crowd than there was here last week, no question about that, because last week was a strange day. It was very, very warm for early February in the Swiss Alps, and cloudy, overcast. I say very, very warm. It's comparatively speaking, it's still bitterly cold here, but these are perfect conditions for racing on snow now. Tightly packed and very, very safe. They're just putting up the starting stalls for race 2 here, which we'll concentrate on in a few moments' time. And we've got some British interest. Delighted here, by the way, that Fanny Homberger, as with most people out here, speaks very good English, so we'll be chatting to the winning driver soon with Martin after the presentations. Yeah, the next race, which is due off at midday local time, 11 o'clock UK time, is the Grand Prix Christopher Bauer Trophy. It's over 1,300 metres, 6.5 furlongs, and it features some very, very smart horses. Very high class for the white turf, I think, too. El Mejor going for John Best's yard, Kieran O'Neill riding.
Im Gamma Catering großen Traberpreis von Pontresina gehört Ihr Applaus Hugo de Tortière.
There we go. There's Fanny.
Hugo de Tortière steht im Besitze und im Training bei Nathalie Gonin und wurde heute gefahren von Fanny Homberger. Recht herzliche Gratulation.
Fanny Homberger, who is, as mentioned before, is an amateur. I wonder what she does on her day-to-day life. She seems very young, Hayley, doesn't she?
That's what I love about the trotting. You've got people mixing it with teenagers up until, I think, 60, late 60s, sometimes even 70s. And I've been skiing with some 77-year-olds this week. I'll tell you what, it's inspirational stuff, Mike. It makes you think, yeah, look after yourself, keep fit, keep in good shape, and you can keep going. So I look forward to seeing you here in about 50 years' time. Gorgeous. But I'm not sure if I'll be brave enough to do the trotting, though. The skioring's just another level. I cannot tell you how excited I am about that. That's our third race coming up. Obviously, you just saying we've got the flat race, then the pony race, and then an official third race is going to be the skioring. So I'm very excited about that.
You can't wait for that, neither can we. It's just a crazy scene. So here, Peter Gamma, I'm not sure which one Peter is. I think it's a gentleman on the left. And Frau Anke Krause. Peter's the chairman and Anke is the chief executive of Gamma Catering.
Fair play to Super Berry Chenot, just to mention he was third, giving away that ground third last weekend as well, over 800 metres, quite different over 1,700 metres. What a game performer, and Apollo San, who was second, he was fourth the other day. So good to see a lot of these horses holding their form, but I think Martin's going to find out a few bits of information for us with winning connections.
Yeah, we'll catch you with Fanny Homberger in just a second. The prize-giving ceremony just finishing up and the glasses of champagne being handed around. But there does seem to be, as you were saying, Mike, a bigger crowd here today and a different atmosphere, really. It just seems very vibrant, very jolly. I think the sunshine really brings out the best in people as well. So we'll catch you with Fanny in just a second. She's just posing for a couple of photographs. Anina's actually alongside me. Anina, we talked to you last week. You were here as a winning owner, but just tell us the two girls who are standing alongside Fanny. What's the dress they're wearing?
That's a typical Engadine Valley dress.
But they're not traditional, not so much traditional shoes.
No.
More practical for this kind of weather, but it's great to be back again and great to have the full track open this week.
Yes, they did hard work. They worked until midnight every night to put more snow on the track. On Monday, most of the natural snow was gone. That was really sad to watch, and now the track is perfect.
Yeah, and the cold conditions through the week have helped, have they?
Yes, definitely.
Good, and we're looking forward to another good afternoon today. We'll hopefully catch you with Fanny in just a second. Is she a regular here at St. Moritz, Fanny?
Yes, she's a regular, and her mother already was a regular, and she wins every year.
So the mum rode as well, or drove?
She drove as well, yeah. Her mom trains and now she drives.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, well, Fanny just still must be very popular. She's getting lots of photographs.
Yes, I will catch her now.
Okay, well, let Nina go off and catch Fanny. That's fascinating to hear that it's a family success with the mum enjoying success as well here, Mike.
Yeah, I'm going to respond to that actually, Martin. I think that's how it happens, isn't it? It's something that you follow on in tradition from family to family.
Bit
Because
like
it is
you,
so
Hayley.
unique. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
It's true, but even more so up here, isn't it? Because it is, you think, how do you get into this? It took someone, obviously, at some point to get involved, but we'll learn more. Back with you, Martin.
Indeed, yeah, thank you. Welcome back down here, and Fanny does join us. Fanny, many congratulations. That was a big win. How much did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was just awesome. The weather was perfect and everything. So it was very hard at the start because he's just galloping at the start. So it was it's over, and finally he just go a lot, and it was perfect. Yeah.
And were you happy with your position in the midfield through the early part of the race?
No, at the first I thought about going on the front. But as I just galloping, I had to stay at the back at the beginning. But anyway, it was perfect.
And he must be a good horse. The way he's finished was very impressive. He was very strong to the line.
Yeah, in Switzerland he's not a good horse because he has to turn on the left side most of the place. But here it's on the left, on the right side, so he like it. So yeah.
And he ran well here last week?
Yes, very well. Yeah, he's a horse who prefer running like a long way. And last week it was very short, but he did well.
And how different is the track? I know we were racing on the round course, not just the straight this week, but how different does the track feel, do you think? Is it feeling much better than last week?
The
snow?
The snow is good as well as last week. Yeah. No, it's perfect. It's not too soft, not too hard. It's very good.
And how many winners for you now here at St. Moritz?
How many win? It's the fourth. Yeah.
And Nina was just saying this is a family tradition. Your mum's also driven winners here?
Yeah, she won here when she was my age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bryn, how old are you?
Sorry?
How old are you?
I'm 26.
26. And what do you do away from driving horses? What's your occupation?
I'm a teacher.
Okay. In Zurich or?
No, in Yverdon.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the French part of Switzerland.
You don't teach driving, do you?
No.
What is it you teach?
I'm a primary school teacher.
Okay. Brilliant. Well, it's a great way to spend a Sunday afternoon. Will we see you back here next weekend as well?
Hopefully, yes. If my horse is well, we will come back.
It's a big one. We wish you all the best for next weekend. Many congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So we go, Mike, our winning jockey here of our opening race on week 2 here at St. Moritz.
Yeah, nice one, Martin. It seems like a lovely person, a primary school teacher from the French part of Switzerland, so a little bit further away from here. We're in the German-speaking part of Switzerland up here.
It was some ride though, Mike, wasn't it? She was very modest, I think.
Did you say some ride, or would you say some
drive?
I don't know.
Yeah, some drive. You're quite right, some drive.
No, I don't know, Hayley. I have no
drive.
idea. Hey, listen, you've been spending a few days up here.
Yeah.
How have you, I know the weather's not been as nice as it's been today, but how have you enjoyed it?
Oh, I loved it. I think that's the cable car up to the top of Pisnare. That actually takes you above 3,000 feet, and that's that's the main
3,000 metres.
Yeah, 3,000 metres.
Yeah.
Sorry, not feet.
Yeah.
We're way
already
up
6,000,
above.
6,500 feet here, aren't we?
It's quite remarkable how high up this place goes, really, more than anything. But yeah,
Can
gorgeous.
I ask you, Hayley? Actually, how did you find? Did you feel when you were riding out, physical exertions and stuff like that? Did you feel the altitude? Because horses tend to feel it, don't they?
I found it okay, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to blow my own trumpet. I'd say I'm at a good fitness level.
Yeah.
Doing lots of running, cycling. So for me, I'm very fit at the moment. So I actually found it okay. But after doing a lap and a half here, I did pull up and go, oh, okay. So yeah, I found it okay, but I did feel it. Yeah, you're quite right. Whereas normally, probably at home, I wouldn't feel it quite so much. And I'd say I'm in good shape at the moment.
Well,
so.
I hope you are. And long should remain.
Should be, shouldn't
Now,
it?
your mum is here. Jane is here. Having a look round as well. Has she been before to St. Moritz?
No, first time. So I'm trying to convince her to try and find a few handicappers of dads that might be able to come up and take part. But I tell you what, it's hard, I think, to know how your horse is going to go on the snow. We've got trainers that do it very well, and none more so than John Bess. He picks the right horses to come up here. People like Christian von der Eck. But it is a huge question mark, and you can have horses rated far superior than others, but if they don't go on the snow, they don't go on the snow. And just listening to Fanny Homburger there with the trotting, how interesting her horse was happier going right-handed, which is quite unique because obviously most of the trotting's done left-handed. So that was a huge, huge advantage for her coming up here.
Well, you're listening to the voice of Hayley Moore, of course, if you didn't realise. She's the daughter of Jane and Gary Moore, the trainer and sister of jockeys Ryan, Josh and Jamie. Anyway, we've got this 1,300-metre flat race coming up next. Now, I would say this is not far off a listed class level. Zoc, who's won at Longchamp and Chantilly last year. He's number 1, ridden by Raphael Ling, trained by Karina Fay. 2 is High Duty, Dennis Sheargan for Karen Suter-Weber. Kieran O'Neill's on board El Mejor for Great Britain, John Best. 4 is Hakam, formerly trained in the UK by Mick Appleby, now with Andres Schara and René Peschulek, the German jockeys on board. Darlam, Clermont-Leroux, Iron Duke, Lucas Delosier, Contrast Tim Bergen, and Notte Aroma, Cedric Arnois complete the 8-runner lineup. And Martin has picked up John Best there in the parade ring.
We have, Mike. He's just nipped off to speak to the local course commentator before he speaks to us, but he's just put Neil up on board El Major. He was an impressive winner here last week over that shorter distance, and a very much lightly raced and unexposed contender, and a couple of wins at Lingfield and Chelmsford back in the UK before coming across here this winter. Carried a big weight to win at Chelmsford, won well here last week, and likely to be suited by coming back up to this longer distance, having raced over the 800 metres last time around. A small field, but as you say, a competitive event. This is a category B race, so it's one of the top end races here at St Moritz. And it's got the beating of many of the horses who he raced against last week are back again today. Of course, Zoc, who was second last week, is back again. In third place was Iron Duke. Back in fourth was Dalam. Then in fifth was Notte Aroma. And further behind in ninth was Hakam, who won on the opening day of the St Moritz Carnival last year. He was disappointing last weekend, really, Hakam. He was second in this race 12 months ago. And also in the race last week, I should say, was High Duty, who finished back in 11th place. Had 20 runs here in Switzerland. Disappointing in this race last year, High Duty finished only 8th place, but came out to win on the final meeting, which will be next weekend. So you can see these horses do sort of beat each other in turn, but El Major carrying a kilo more today as John Best does come back to join us. And how's he been, John, since that win last week?
Yeah, he's been absolutely fine. We've had no problems with him. He's been in great form. Really, I don't do much with them in between races, and that's so when you run last week, he had a little bit of a blowout last week, although obviously we didn't take too much out of him, I don't suppose. He had a little spin on the track on Thursday. Other than that, he's just been on the training track. But he seems in great form. I mean, the thing that's different here, obviously, today to last week is we're going to be going round the bend, and there is going to be the kickback, and they are going to get it thrown in their face unless you're right up with the front. I said to Kieran, don't be panicking to lead, ideally just behind the leaders, but I think if they're going that fast that you can't lay up early on, then they're going to stop at the finish, so you may as well take your time and hopefully it all comes right at the end.
And that's one thing that he did do last week over that shorter trip. He came home very strongly.
Yeah, well, he won over 7 at Chelmsford, so we knew he was going to be finishing well. The problem was he just didn't quite have the pace to lay up with them early on, but 6.5 round here. The track's riding really fast, but 6.5 round here is probably more like 7 at home, and they will go very quick, I think, early on because the track's fast. So, I mean, it could end up being a little bit more of a test, which I think should suit ours. I think we'll stay a mile at home anyway. So.
You got some good chances here today. Would he be the best of them?
Yeah, I think he probably would. I mean, Torachika, she took a bump at the start last week. She was a fraction slow away, but she was in the stalls a very long time. She was a fraction slow away, took a bump. I think if she hadn't had that, I think we would have gone very close, if not won the race. So over this longer trip, that will only help her. Barari is saddled with a huge weight. It's going to be tough for him, but as I think I said the same last week, you can't rule him out. And Torbolino surprised me how well she ran over that trip last week, over the 800 metres. You know, she's been placed over a mile 4 at home, so she should see out the mile 1, should be perfect for her, and she's in good form as well.
Well, a good weekend last weekend, John. A winner in 2 places. Let's hope we can equal that, if not better it today.
I'll tell you what, we need to have a good week this week because it's going to be really tough next week. And at the moment, Kieran's leading jockey, my owners are leading owners, and I'm just behind Miro Weiss, who had 10 runners last week. We need to get in front of him this week because we won't catch him next week.
Good luck, John. We'll speak to you later on.
Cheers, Martin. Thanks.
So John Best off to watch his runner, who, Mike, I'd imagine will nip off to the betting shop and have a look at the price. But I'd imagine El Major will be quite a short-priced favourite based on what it did last week and based on the potential this horse has got.
Yeah, Martin, I think you're spot on with that. Yeah, all these horses took part in the same race last week, and El Mejor came out on top. I'm going to stick with the Spanish pronunciation, Martin, because I know it means the best, doesn't it? And I just feel as though he's the sort of horse that come the summer is going to be running in all those good handicaps that they have at Ascot, Hayley, like, you know, the Heritage 7-furlong handicaps.
Yeah, tailor-made.
He's that sort of horse, isn't he? He could be that good. I mean,
and
look,
he's tough. We know that because he acts on the snow here.
And we've got horses like Iron Duke running for Peter Sheegan, the art-winning trainer. You know, he was 3rd last week behind El Mejor, and he's got group race form. And Zoc, who won at Longchamp and Chantilly, and he won an enormous big handicap in Czechoslovakia last year as well. He's a good horse. Yeah. So it's by no means a penalty kick, Martin. How do they figure?
El Mejor or El Major, whichever you want to go for. Which you can do here in summer. It's smart. You could go for the German, the Dutch, the Swiss, the French, the Italian. It's a real melting pot of lounge here. But El Major is the market leader, currently around 5-4. So he was favourite to win last week and he's favourite to win again this afternoon. Second best in at 3-1. That's number 6, Iron Duke, who was 3rd to him here last week. One start and 1 place here in Switzerland. So another one is open to plenty of improvement, the 4-year-old there. In behind those two, number 1 is a 7-2 chance. That is Zoc, who was 2nd last week and had been off the track for quite some time prior to that. So there could be improvement to come from Zoc. Then 5-1 for number 5. That is Dalam, who was 4th in behind El Major just 7 days ago. 8-1 for number 4. That's Hakam, who does have winning form here on the turf, on the snow, I should say, at St Moritz. 8-1 also for number 8, Notti Aroma, who was 5th last week. And the outsiders one, number 7 at 10-1. That's Contrast, who's actually 4th in this race 12 months ago. And the outsider of the field, number 2, High Duty, who didn't get the clearest of runs here last week, finished back in the field in the 11th place. Does have winning form here on the snow. And High Duty, despite being the outsider of the field, is 11-1.
Thanks, Martin. He was a listed winner in his early days, High Duty, and Hakam there on the left was a Group 3 winner at Overvold in Norway a few seasons ago when trained by Mick Appleby. He's now, of course, Hakam with Andreas Schara. Now, the interesting thing about the way the stalls are set up here, they're placed about 100 metres from the winning post. There's a very short run into the first turn, Hayley, and by golly, that is a sharp right-hand turn, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and obviously we're on snow, ice, so horses really need to keep their balance and motor around here and not lose their footing and get a smooth passage. You don't want to be stopping and starting because it's going to prove costly. You've got to be economical when you're racing here on the ice, and obviously you want to get that good position to keep out of that kickback, so everyone will be phonetically trying to get the good position to that first turn, so it will make things difficult, tight. You'll have to be well on your A game as well. So El Mejor, with that extra kilo that he's got to carry today for that success just last week, might just make his task pretty tough. But Kieran O'Neill sitting at the top of the Silver Jockey Trophy on 18 points at the moment, ahead of Clement Leroux, who's got 11. Then we've got Cheryl Schock, who took over and had that big win at last minute with 8 points. Lucas Delosier in 4th on 7, and Dennis Shergan, who partners High Duty here. He's got 6 points on the score sheet for the Silver Jockey Trophy. So anything can happen over the next 2 meetings, but they'll all be looking to keep those points high. And Kieran O'Neill made the decision to come here today giving up his potential book of rides at Southall. He wanted to come back here to the White
Just
Turf
as well.
meeting just as well, because Southall's off. He's got a bit of luck on his side, hasn't he? But I'm sure he'll be really trying to go for this silver jockey trophy. And I see he's picked up some outside rides today away from the John Best stable, because I think he showed his talents well, didn't he, last weekend? So
he's a good jockey, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's drawn 3 here, which is an advantage. You want to be drawn low before that turn. I think, yeah, I'm just sitting here waiting with bated breath really to see how they hand, because these are quick horses here and they're good horses. As we watch Hakam going in, Dalam in the yellow jacket just out of shot. He used to be trained by John Gosden at one time, and he's one of 2 in the race, trained by Miro Weiss, the champion Swiss trainer, who's also got Contrast in the black jacket, who's already in the stalls there in the red cap. A bit like the old Jim Joel colours, the famous colours of Royal Palace, and on the flat, the Derby winner, Maori Venture, the Grand National winner. Mr. Joel won them all. There's High Duty, Dennis Sheargan.
looks well, doesn't he, Mike?
High Duty?
Yeah, on his toes there.
Yeah, he's ready to go, isn't he?
Beautiful looking horse, very strong and powerful individual.
15,000 Swiss francs here, Hayley, which is in the pot, which is roughly about just under 12,000 sterling. And they've got Dalam in. The horse on the right there is Notte Roma, who was trained in France at one time.
Cedric Carnois on board.
Yeah, and he's drawn widest, so he hasn't got an easy task.
No, the draw's not giving him much help there, and Dalam was in front of him last time out when they were lining up against each other as well, so he'll be needing to reverse the form, but very much take everything over the 800 metres with a pinch of salt, because we just know that a lot of these horses were not on their optimum distances at all, so I think that's pretty important. I think we're just finding out a little bit of news about what the delay is. I'm just hearing something to do with the farrier. So one of the horses has pulled off a shoe, which is really important more than ever. Can't stress enough how important it is that these horses
Is it
have
El Mejor, we think?
I think it might be. That's why Kieran jumped off.
Yeah.
Well,
so the farrier
well
is just
picked up.
gonna sort that out.
The shoes, Mike, if you know a normal racing plate, obviously, if you look at it with these horses over here specifically, the toe, which would be if you were holding a horseshoe upright, the rounded part,
Yeah.
has got a really raised bar on it, and then at the back of the shoe, where the two sort of end rounded off points, there goes the farrier down the track. I'm not sure if the camera will be able to pick the shots up. The Volkswagen beautifully going down the home straight. They've got then studs at the back, so the grip on the shoes are quite remarkable.
They work, don't they? They really do.
Yeah, there's a lot, but I think Martin Kelly might have a little bit of news for us.
Well, just strong support, Hayley, for this horse of John Best, now trading odds on at 8 to 11. So 5 to 4 plays 8 to 11 now. All the money for El Mejor here. Now an odds on favourite. Second best in, then he's still number 6. That is Iron Duke, bidding to go 2 places better than last week. He's currently around the 3 to 1 mark. Easy to back, though, is Zoc, the horse who was second. He's got out from 7 to 2 out to 9 to 2. So easy to back Zoc. And then we have Dalam, who's available at 6 to 1, 7 to 1 for number 4, Hakam. He does have good form here. Could be a fair place chance here is Hakam. And then bigger prices for the remainder of the outsiders, remaining the 2 and the 8, High Duty and Notte Roma. So runners still down at the start. I'm actually down here in the betting shop, which has been quite busy this morning. We've got just to give you an idea of what's down here, a whole row of counters. There must be about 20 staff all waiting here to take the wagers, as this market leader still trades at around the 8 to 11 mark. If you come out to the back of the betting terminal, we're actually back out onto the lake and onto the ice, and there's just a huge array of different stalls around here. We've got some of the hotels. Barrett's Palace have got a huge marquee here with lovely tables laid outside, people enjoying their lunch in the sunshine. The wind, by the way, has just got up a little bit. It was quite still early on this morning, but the wind now just blowing around a little bit, so just taking the edge off that lovely warm sunshine that's coming through. So elsewhere we've got the Palace on Ice, as they're calling it, Barrett's Palace, with their own little marquee here serving drinks and people sitting outside wrapped in blankets. There's a bandstand here where there's a keyboard and a set of drums and a couple of guitars ready to go, so no doubt the party will continue. The après party after the racing a little bit later on. One of the local casinos, they've got their roulette wheels and their various gaming machines out here as well, and there are lots of food stalls, some lovely smells wafting around down here as well as the local delicacies get cooked. And I guess if we get a little bit too cold later on, there's a whiskey bar as well, which actually, Mike's quite conveniently located to you guys. There's a grandstand, and next to that is the whiskey bar. So if you're feeling a little bit little bit thirsty later on, we could always send Haley out to get you a hot toddy.
A wee dram.
Yeah. Sounds like a good idea, actually.
Now, I'm just watching the Farrier, Martin. It's his off 4 that needs reshodding, so I'm just keeping an eye on him.
Fair play to all the connections as well. They've run straight down there and got their sheets out. Martin's mentioning that people that are sitting out enjoying the sunshine wrapped up with their blankets around them, while the staff here who look after the horses straight out with the sheets on the horses' quarters as well to keep them warm. I can't tell you how much everyone involved love their horses that come up here and take part. You build such a strong bond as well when you're travelling horses abroad. You have to spend so much time with them. They become your friends as well when you're away. So they're there in the mornings, feeding them, riding them out, taking them out for the afternoon walks, and yeah, their care is top notch. So not surprised to see them all down at the start, keeping those that need a bit of an extra layer, putting a blanket on them.
I'll tell you what, though, Mel Mejor is standing very calmly. His groom is down there just patting him on the... He looks very chilled.
He works very hard, actually, the John Best groom. I think he takes
What's his name? I'm sorry, I don't know his name. Did you know?
No, I should have found that out. That would have been a good move. I say good morning to him every time.
Got the white turf jacket on.
Yeah, the leading owners of the White Turf Racing UK. But yeah, he does all the 4 lots. All the horses go out on their own. Actually, obviously, he can join up with another stable if he needs to. But he's in and out all morning. Keeps himself busy. 4 lots and does a good job, as we saw last week when he had his first winner. And El Mejor, but he certainly knows what he's doing, so he's just down there with his little 4-year-old by extension.
Oh, he's done it. They've got him replated.
Nice.
That was a pretty impressive job by both the farrier and the horse. And Kieran is just about to get the leg up again. Here he goes. Well, Martin, that's a little bit of a scare for those that have backed to El Mejor, but as you pointed out earlier on, they weren't phased. You know, odds on now.
Yeah, the punters have certainly remained faithful to last week's winner. But I've just come down, Mike, to just below your commentary position, where the horses come from the parade ring through what would be the winner's enclosure, if they're lucky enough to get their heads in front, and out onto the track. And one thing that's notable just standing here is it's quite a short run to that first turn. It's almost like the 1.25 mile start at Lingfield. They break, and it's not long before they start to turn, albeit they're turning right rather than left here. So it's going to be interesting to watch as they jockey for position coming out of the stalls, because it is quite a quick run towards that first turn.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, weren't we, Mike?
We were.
That, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost scary to look at it, Martin. Braden is the groom.
Yeah,
who's been looking after John's horses. Helen, who works for John Best.
And at Lingfield, we're often talking about Lingfield there. She keeps herself incredibly busy. I haven't seen her this afternoon.
No, I haven't either. I hope she's all right.
In the UK.
There's contrast
going
going
in.
in.
The sunshine, Helen.
Yes. Don't rub it in, for goodness sake, Haley. We've got to get back later. There's contrast entering the stalls then, in the stall red cap, stable red cap colours, of which Anina Vidmos, who was interviewed by Martin earlier on, who runs the, one of the people that runs the show here, has a share. So, high duty going forward. This is why they're a bit delayed, quite a delay now. We're about 10 minutes, well, we will be about 10 minutes behind schedule. El Mejor is going into stall number 3. A little bit of a scare, having lost his, or at least damaged his off-4 shoe, which has been replated. And he was an absolute model patient there. He stood there almost half asleep.
That's testament to the kind of horse you need to bring out here, though, Mike. I think you need a horse with the right mindset, because there's a lot of rigmarole. It's a very different type of scenario, and I think a lively horse would make life very difficult up here in the mountains. Obviously, they do get on their toes, but I remember John saying last week how he was the saint of the group of horses that he's got out here.
Yeah, he was full of praise for him. I must admit, he's a likable, very likable horse. Son of Extension. He was a good horse for Clive Cox a few years ago. So this fella here, Zoc, is definitely a danger. It's 62 kilos on his back, 9 stone, 10.5 pounds more or less. And El Mejor has got 60 kilos on his back, which is 9.6 in UK terms. As we watch the last couple, Notte Aroma and High Duty still to go in for this Christoph Fell Bow Trophy. Notte Aroma. And don't forget this very short run to the first bend. So High Duty, the last one to go in. For the experienced Dennis Sheargan. Alongside Iron Duke in the spots there as we look behind the gates. And they're set and away they go, and El Mejor didn't get the best of starts. Contrast got the worst start of all. Notte Aroma from his outside draw coming across. Hakam right up there as well. El Mejor the decent position on the inside with High Duty. Iron Duke running the rail, and as they take that first turn, which Contrast completely failed to handle. So Notte Aroma from the outside draw takes them towards the back straight, leads by a couple of lengths. In the blue jacket, Hakam on the outside of High Duty. El Mejor next to the rail, passed there by Zoc, who moves up into 4th place. Iron Duke just behind these leaders. Darlam is at the back of the main group, and there's about 8 lengths back to Contrast, who's just been pulled wide there by Tim Bergen to avoid getting that kickback into his face. There's quite a kickback here on the back straight as they race down towards the end of the back straight. El Mejor just being given the hurry up by Kieran O'Neill in 4th place as they take that turn. Notte Aroma then takes them down the side of the course, and as they're about to approach the home straight with just over a furlong and a half left to run. Racing second is Zoc, followed then by, on the inside, Hakam. 4th place then is Darlam. El Mejor, now he can get rocking and rolling down the straight, but he's got too much to do, surely. Notte Aroma out in front here for the upset. Notte Aroma broke well from the outside, and Cedric Anwar come home to win. Notte Aroma, a surprise, wins from Hakam in 2nd place. El Mejor got up for 3rd in the end. He never really got into it. Zoc was back in 4th spot. So Claudia Ernie is the winning trainer of Notte Aroma, who springs a bit of a surprise. 5th behind El Mejor here last week, over 800 metres. And Cedric Anwar got him into a great position from that outside draw. El Mejor never really looked comfortable. I don't know whether there was any issue with the replating beforehand. He only really got going up the home straight. Haley, the track was almost looked too sharp for him.
Do you know, it is riding very quick out there, but my word, the kickback looked very, very tough today. In comparison to last week over the 800 metres, it looked as though it was even more than last week. There was a lot last week, but it just looked like a ball of kickback throughout. So I think you really need to be on the front end. This horse having absolutely no weight on his back either, Notte Aroma, and has really built on some good past efforts here as well. A horse that has formally won here, so he's not without proving his love affair for the conditions. But getting out in that early position, he was just able to travel so well throughout, whereas a lot of these were just never on the bridle. And I do think it had a lot to do with that kickback. Hakam's done well to finish off for 2nd, but I think if we get the chance to look back at the start of the race shortly, you'll see that's where the race was pretty much won and lost.
I called him El Mejor finishing 3rd there. I think he did, but we've got to get it
confirmed.
It was
close between him and Zoc.
Yeah.
He was sat quite prominently throughout, so he had a good run of things. He was given every chance as well. But clearly means a lot to Cedric Anwar. He's been celebrating past the line, and I don't blame him, having a victory here on the white turf. It's something that would make a good picture on the mantelpiece, that's for sure.
Wouldn't it just?
Well done to Claudia Ernie as well for Martina Stadelman, the owner. So I'm sure they'll be enjoying some celebrations later on, and rightfully so, everyone smiling as well. The rider looks like he rides pretty short and has got a very thin pair of breeches on. because he's doing just 55 kilos. It's a weight I
What's
can't.
that? 8 stone 10, that is.
A weight I certainly couldn't be able to do. So he's probably got his light gear on, which, as you can imagine, Mike, it's not the kind of conditions you want to be wearing your light stuff in, is it? But
I can give you the time, Haley. It's 1:21.03. We'll give you those times. Longines, the official timekeeper here at the White Turf. As Notte Aroma comes in, having sprung a little bit of a surprise in this Christopher Bow Trophy Grand Prix over 1,300 metres. And El Mejor, the big British hope, never really looking completely at ease. It'd be interesting to see whether Kieran O'Neill has got something to say about that afterwards.
he just broke very slowly, didn't he, Mike? And I think it was always going to be difficult. Here we are from the start. He's given a couple of lengths.
Darlam slowly away too.
Yeah.
Never got into it, Darlam in the yellow jacket.
There's the winner, straight away. Across them.
Just watching those slow motion shots there of Kieran O'Neill, he just looked as though he wasn't comfortable going to that bend on El Mejor, and he was riding him hard all the way out of that back straight. And it wasn't really, he really got going until too late, but there'll be other days for him, I'm sure. I wouldn't give up on him by any stretch of the imagination, but I think 6.5 round here is just on the sharp side for him.
Yeah, probably needs that a little bit further when it's riding as quick as what it is today. Maybe in softer conditions it would have been fine, but it's not what it's like. Let's get to Martin for reaction.
Kieran's just heading back in. Kieran, if we just quickly grab you, what were your thoughts on that? He didn't seem to break all that well early on.
No, we went a good gallop, and it just felt he wasn't really going for me today. You know, there's that little bit more snow on him today, and it's that little bit deeper, so I could blame that, but he just felt a bit flat today. Like last week, could have took a little bit out of him, you know, so look, we'll see how he comes out of the race, and we'll see what John thinks about next week. And
it's a different training regime from back home in the UK to be coming here and bouncing out week in, week out after after last weekend to come out again 7 days later. It's not always easy for the horses to perform to the same level.
No, it's not. You know, as I said, there's a lot more snow on it today, and it's that bit deeper, and it's always that little bit harder. So, look, for him to back it up twice in a week, you'd want to be very good, but I actually I probably thought he'd win today. Look, it wasn't the strongest of races, but look, he went that bit further today and whatnot, but look, hopefully he can bounce back next week.
And would the 6.5 on this track when it's running fast be just on the sharp side for him, maybe?
Probably, yeah. I said he was staying on again up the straight. He's probably going to want to mile when he goes back to Britain. But no, look, I'd mark that one away and go again next week.
Thanks for your time, Kieran. Best of luck later on. There's the thoughts then, Mike and Haley, of Kieran. Hopefully El Mejor will be able to bounce back next week. And Kieran, back into what you guys both thought, that he's just ran a little bit flat.
Yeah, he picked up, finished, did he finish third there in the end? He picked up about 2,000 Swiss francs for his troubles. So they're celebrating Notte Aroma. Now this, I'm going to tell you who's going to present these trophies here, because I've got some details. Herr Markus Tester, who's one of the president. He's down here as the president of the Verwaltungsrats. No, I'm not sure what they do, but anyway, Herr Markus Tester is going to give the trophies away very, very shortly to the winner, Notte Aroma, Martina Stadelman's colours, Claudia Ernie, the trainer, and Cedric Arnois, the jockey, the winner of this Grand Prix Christopher Bow Trophy.
Just interesting getting that reaction as well from Kieran O'Neill there, the fact that we've had a lot more snowfall at the earlier part of the week, and then obviously they've topped it up with maintenance throughout the week, but obviously the track with more snow has made it that bit deeper, even though it is still on the quicker side. It does mean that there probably is going to be even more kickback compared to last week as well. And that's something that he's maybe not enjoyed as much. So it's one of them things you don't know, Mike, until they're out there competing on it, isn't it? And you get the feedback from people like Kieran that are used to riding in these conditions.
Isn't it funny you said he felt as though he was a bit flat maybe last week, just taken out of it a little bit. No, 7 days. But there's only 3 meetings here, of course, all year, so you can't really wrap them in cotton wool too much.
It's easier to run them than train them, and you don't get the opportunities such as good of conditions out there today, because you don't know what the weather's going to offer. So you're better to get them out their boxes and give them a gallop and take part. And look, he's still picked up prize money and been competitive. A little bit further, he might have even won.
Und wir bedanken uns recht herzlich bei Markus Zester, dem Präsidenten des Verwaltungsrats der O-Christoffel Bauunternehmung AG.
Confirmation of the result, though, it's still...
Well, I haven't seen any graphics, Hayley.
I haven't seen the result go up on the board. By the winning post, I'm trying to figure out the numbers, but I think they're still... I don't think they're even from the last race.
No, there's some number boards up there which don't seem to be in use.
But, confirm as soon as we do have it in.
Nice breeze down the centre of down the back of them, going down the straight here. Now, Hayley, the breeze it's not too bad today, is it?
No, it's there. You can feel it. Bit of a crosswind, isn't it, up the home straight as well. Looking at the flags, and then, like you say, but behind them, then coming up that home straight. So that'll help them finish off.
Nice glass of champers there. Look.
This is what it was all about last weekend. I love this idea. Champagne straight away on the winner's podium. So you need a bit of Dutch courage, I know that much. I think the result's just starting.
Yeah, I can confirm that Elmeckel did get third.
Yes, he has. Yeah, it's literally just gone up in front of us. They must have taken their time to have a look at the photo finish, Mike, the official result. Good old-fashioned up on the whiteboard with the numbers. So 8-4-3-1-5, that is confirmed. So he has just got it, which is good news.
Now, do you know whether that's the trainer in shot there, Claudia Ernie, or is that Martina Stradelman? Where would your money be?
No,
I think that could be
that's the owner.
The owner, couldn't
it? She looks like she fits in perfectly well here in the sunshine.
She certainly does.
Ritz. Looks absolutely
having a
glamorous.
A nice sharpener of champagne there.
Yeah, there's the winning rider, Cedric. He was really enjoying his moment in the sun. I don't know much about his background or where he's from, so hopefully we'll learn shortly.
Well, he hasn't got any more rides, I don't think.
No, we're very reliant on them speaking good English as well, so we are spoilt rotten with everyone else coming.
This is why he can have a drink of champagne, isn't it?
Yeah, he can get stuck in. Good for him. Go and celebrate up in the Sky Bar.
I can hear Martin laughing in the background there on the soundtrack we're getting, so maybe he's chatting away to... Actually, we can chat to Martin, who have you got with you?
Who are you laughing with?
Well, nobody just yet, Mike. I was just saying the champagne's smelling good from here, and Anina's just will hopefully sort you out with some later on. So I was just
you're working. You're working.
No,
after
of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Cedric and Claudia both not too proficient with their English. So we're going to catch up with the owner of Nottingham, Martina Stadelman, who's coming across to join us now. The victorious owner. She's had a champagne. She's received her. She's received a trophy. You're very happy.
Yes, of course I am, yes.
And Martina, that was a wonderful ride from your jockey here from the outside stall.
In the beginning, I had a bit... I was afraid he doesn't go just straight ahead.
Yeah, but he's got a
good horse, yes. It's quite a good horse.
And were you confident that once he'd got to the lead that he would stay there?
Yes, yes. He likes to go in front.
And I guess you're away in that position, away from the kickback in behind. It must be a big help.
Of course. When you have a horse who doesn't like that, it's very hard to snow.
And are you coming to San Moritz for many years and enjoying the racing here?
Yes. Oh yes, since more than 40 years.
Really?
Yes, yes. I came here with my trainer. I was working in a racing stable before. And then I began with breeding, and I bred also. Not the Aroma, it's my breeding, yes.
Yeah, that must make it all the more special when you've seen it from a little foal coming through.
Yes, of course, yeah.
And what changes have you seen here in San Moritz with the racing over those 40 years?
Oh, that changed a lot in case of all the stuff they have now, also with the snowing and everything they can do now. In the beginning, we had one small rat track, and nothing else. Nothing else. It was quite different, and it was real cold all the time.
Do you find it's a little bit milder these days, that the temperatures have changed?
Of course, a lot. You see it also on the snow. That's nothing.
Well, you look back to last weekend and how mild it had been in the build-up.
Yes, I never saw it before. On Monday, I thought now it's finished. Now we haven't any races.
But thankfully, the snow came, the temperatures dropped, and you've had a winner.
Yes.
And you've got horses based in what, Switzerland and in France?
In France and also one in England.
Okay.
Yes.
And who
Started? It's a 2-year-old. Yes.
And that's based with who?
Baker. George Baker.
George Baker. Okay, yeah, George. He's good fun, George.
Yes, he's good fun. Yes.
And he's had runners here before in the past, hasn't he?
Yes, yes, he's coming to the GP.
Is he? He's coming next weekend?
Yes, yes.
Okay. That'll be fun to catch up with George. And in France, who are your horses with?
With Carlos Lerner, Pia Brandt, and Vermeulen.
And are they all flat raced horses?
No, I have one over jumps. Yes, Auteuil. Well, yeah, but for my heart, it's a bit.
Yeah, it's not as easy to watch.
So I bred this horse as well, and then you breed a horse, and then you go. I mean, Auteuil, it's quite a bit. Yeah.
So you really love your racing. You're really a real die-hard passion.
Yes, I'm born with.
Good. And if anybody's watching, this is going around the world. If anybody's watching today thinking, yeah, I'd like to go to St. Moritz, why should they come over here? What makes St. Moritz so good?
Oh, it's so different. It's a lot of fun also. It's okay for the horses. It's quite hard. That you have to, and you can't come up with not. You have to come with good horses, and you have to train them before, because training here is not possible. It's too hard. It's too hard. You have to go slowly, and only little canters and things like this. Otherwise, they are dead. But afterwards, when you've been here and you go down, you win the next race.
Yes.
Yes, because it's quite a good training.
And well, I thought your horse been a case in point, 5th here last week and a winner here this afternoon.
Yeah, that was the first time he was running. So I gave him this run just to have a look on the ground. And he changed a lot also this week. I stay always here with the horses. I don't go down and up. That I don't do. I don't like. They have to have holidays like I have. Yeah. And I watch them every morning.
And you've seen the change through the week?
And I saw the change, yeah. And I thought we have a chance. But I thought the English horse has to be beaten.
Oh, you made sure that happened. Yeah. And Martina, tell me, will we see this horse here again next weekend?
Yes, yes. When the ground is okay. When the ground isn't okay, I don't let them race.
Well, a great win for you. Many thanks for talking to us and best of luck next weekend.
Thank you. Thank you.
So there we go, guys. Our winning owner, Martina Stadelmann. Horses not just here in Switzerland, but also in France. And interesting, that's a 2-year-old with George Baker as well.
Yes, it doesn't surprise me to hear that George has been networking out here in the Swiss Alps. He's brilliant at doing that.
I tell you, what an interesting lady, and I can definitely confirm she's been up in the early hours of the morning at the stables every morning, being around and showing such a keen interest, really getting involved, which is one of the positives for bringing your horse out here. You can stay just a stone's throw away, come out and watch them train in the mornings and get to know your horse. And interesting what she was saying about how this horse has really sprung to life. This is a very common thing. And Mike, I think that your hotel is on screen.
You know, wouldn't that be lovely if that was our hotel? Haley, you are a hoot. Yeah, sadly we're not staying there. It's only about 8,000 euros for, Swiss francs for a weekend.
A weekend, okay.
So for 2 people.
Maybe if we...
Bed and breakfast.
Wow, okay.
Which one was that? The Palace? That was the Palace Hotel, wasn't it?
Yeah,
which overlooks the. There's our commentary box. That little white
pavilion type thing.
Pavilion on the right there, the one that's right next to the rail. That's us, and we're on the middle floor there, not even on the top floor. Because our German-speaking colleagues have got preference to us rather. Now we're looking at the ponies for our 12:30 race. It's the Pony Gallop 800-meter race, the Winter Sprint de Intoul AG, and there are only 4 of them going down.
A little bit easier than last week. We had lots of divisions of it, but
yeah, we did. It was a crazy race.
Confusing, wasn't it? But a wonderful opportunity. How cool is it when you're in the pony club and you get to put a picture of yourself riding out on the white turf. I mean, I was thrilled just getting a few photos and videos when I was riding work, let alone with your silks on. And there's the Swiss flag.
Now, these young riders, they're all 13 years old. Yara Siegrist, who rides Humble Mind, number 4, is a year older, 14. But number 3 we're looking at there is Sally Langhard. She rides Angelina Coralina. And pony race form, I'm afraid, just is a complete mystery to me here. They're on their way down shortly. Just a little bit delayed following the
I thought they would have made up the time, Mike, after all of that.
just the 4 ponies.
Yeah, the riders aren't riding later, are they? So never mind. There we go. There's a young one enjoying a little ride around. Future jockey, future star. That's nice, isn't it?
That's cute, isn't it?
Pony racing, pony rides going on. The horse is looking very chilled out as well, which is good.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it? It really is.
It really is beautiful. But I'm so happy that we've got the full use of the racecourse proper today in comparison to last week, and also the fact that we're going to see some skioring coming up.
I know, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. So hopefully that will be off to time. They'll be able to make up and get that off, ready to go. Franco Muro, Mike, is riding Bahama Moon later on. And he was the one we were learning about who would have been having his 100th skioring race over this 3 meetings. He'd had 97 races. Unfortunately, with the abandonment last weekend, meant he missed out. No, so he's going to have to come back next year, which I think is good news for everyone, because he's an amazing skier. He's in charge of all the red coats, the ski instructors up the mountains. So like a trainer at the end of the day has to go back and do his board with his horses, Franco has to go back and do the board with all his ski instructors. So he said, I've got to go. And I watched him ski down the other day, an amazing skier. So he's grown out here. I tell you what, the rider on number 1 looks stylish there.
Yeah, come on, tell us a bit about what you thought.
Alina Albert.
Yeah.
She looks tidy. Now these horses look a bit bigger than what we had last week. These look like the professionals almost. My word, they're looking in terrific form, riders and horses. So this could be an interesting affair. I think it could be one of the more competitive pony racing heats that we're going to get. So,
have you got nephews and nieces that ride in pony races?
I have just Shetland at the moment.
Yeah.
So they'll hopefully progress on to pony racing. But early days at the moment. And funnily enough, my brother Ryan won't let them have a day off school ever to go and compete.
Ryan won't?
He's
He won't let
so
them?
strict. No,
Is he?
the amount of days he used to bunk off and go and ride out, and if Tony McCoy was coming into school, he'd go and school with Tony McCoy and miss the morning off, but no.
Not for his kids?
Nope, not for his kids. He's far too strict a father.
Okay, so look, we're looking at Yara Siegrist on board, number 4, Humble Mind. Just 4 runners then for this pony race.
I don't know if there's any betting on it, but I tell
They're
you what,
bound to,
they
aren't
look
they?
professional, don't they? Beautiful
Well,
riders
to my
here.
untrained, unprofessional jockey eye, they look really proficient. Number 1 looks
Yeah.
particular. Tatiana
hands.
Albert Alina.
Beautiful. We've got cheap pieces on.
There's no betting for this
Humble
race, we
Mind.
understand. This is just for the kids, really, isn't it?
Oh, what an opportunity it is. So,
Fantastic.
yeah, really exciting stuff. You must have called, Mike, a few skioring races in your past?
No, I haven't.
Never?
Hayley.
Never
Last
ever?
year I did, yeah. Yeah, last year I came down. I was only down here for the first time to commentate properly last year.
Ah, okay.
Oh, Martin, you've got some news affecting the card later, perhaps?
Maybe Martin's got stuck into that brandy or whiskey. Is he in the bar still? Martin Kelly. He's not. He's still in that bar. Should I go down and get him out, Mike?
And we've just got... Okay, we've got a non-runner in the skioring race, which is at 1 o'clock here. Number 9, Elegant Lando is out.
Field of 10.
Was one of the outsiders anyway, to be honest. So So these 4 ponies down at the 800-meter start. This is where they raced from all of last week's races. The 800-meter straight course. And they are going to use the starting stalls, which is great.
Yeah, great experience as well.
Wait till you see how they use for the skioring. That's something else. So that's Humble Mind in the black jacket, got cheek pieces on. Tatjana Albert Elena rides Nant Brennig Teddy, number 1, in the center of the picture. Just looking down, there's a really nice gathering of people down by the rail here in front of the track, all the way up to the end of the pulling up area before the bend. It's just great to see so many people here enjoying the spectacle that is the white turf. Regarding next weekend, the forecast is for more, well, a bit of a storm coming in tomorrow, I believe, which is affecting the northern part of Europe at the moment. But by the way, temperatures have risen to -1 now. They're expecting a bit of snow on Tuesday and then maybe Thursday and Friday as well. But next weekend, more sunshine. So we're going to get this beautiful scene of blue skies and pounded snow next Sunday as well on the final day, the most important day of this meeting. Amazing to think that in just, what, a couple of months' time, most of this lake would have melted. Most of this snow on the lake would have melted. 44 meters deep, this. That's a lot, isn't it? It's pretty deep.
Really deep.
Yeah.
And the pictures in contrast, as you say, to when it's the summer months and everyone enjoying swimming and diving in on the lake.
I bet it's pretty cold even in the summertime, to be honest. Okay, they're loading up here. Nant Brennig Trail, Nant Brennig Teddy rather, is the one that's out of line at the moment. Red jacket of Angelina Corolina. Asian dancer is in, who's got the noseband. Here we go. What an opportunity for these youngsters. 4 runners ready to go, ready to race, 800 meters. And the stalls are back. And just dwelling as the stalls open there was Humble Mind on the right of your picture. Cheek piece runner. Not so though Asian dancer, who's very smartly into stride. Asian dancer and Alia Janser showing really good pace, but swiftly overtaken now by Angelina Corolina and Sally Langhard, who took Haley's eye going down to the start. And it's Angelina Corolina who's out in front and showing the lead by 2 lengths then at Asian dancer, and trying to recover their Humble Mind. I'm afraid that Nant Brennig Teddy is readily outpaced and is not really going. So they're coming down towards the final furlong here. Angelina Corolina has absolutely bounded clear. Looked the part beforehand, looks the part in the race. And congratulations to Sally Langhard. Angelina Corolina wins easily from Asian dancer in second. Humble Mind back in third. And tailing off back and forth, just warming up there, is Nant Brennig Teddy. The winning time of 48.79 seconds for these ponies. It's not bad, actually.
I just figured out something, Mike. I think we've got the categories. You had the 2, 3 and 4 numbers were in one category, and Nant Brennig Teddy, who was quite a distance in the pony category. So
yeah, so maybe much smaller than the rest of them.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
and probably won his own own race in his own right,
yes,
in his own division of the pony category. So that was good for very distant Tatjana, who kept the horse going at least, competing against these what looked like thoroughbreds to me. And they can't even pull them up down the back. They've kept going, haven't they? Haven't got tired. They must be very, very
halfway
fit
down
as well.
the back there, Angelina Corolina. But you know what, Hayley, you said beforehand, Sally Langhard, she looked really, she looked the part, very polished.
Yeah, got the horse out well. The Asian dancer travelled very well and left with Victor in the green.
Oh, he's only little, isn't he? The Nat Brennig Teddy at the back.
Little Teddy.
Yeah, he just couldn't go the pace. These are almost as big as thoroughbreds, some of these.
Yeah. And they've gone fast, Mike, as well. Is it 48.79 for the 800 metres? That's amazing. Obviously, they've got no weight on their backs. They've got little riders, but they're clocking up some of the times that we saw last weekend over the 800 metres with the professional jockeys
anyway, it's pretty good.
So.
200 Swiss francs to the winner, Hayley.
My goodness, there's money involved as well.
Yeah, 160 to the runner-up, 120 to the third, and even little Nat Brennig Teddy picked up 100 francs for taking part.
Is it? That's not bad. Well, I remember winning a rosette when I was a kid. 200 Swiss francs.
Not bad, is it?
And look how beautifully she's bringing the horse back in as well. Sally Langard. Maybe this is a name to follow for the future.
We'll find out in a moment or two whether she speaks a good English or not, because Martin will be trying to quiz her. But,
he might duck out of this one. He scares children, you see. So I might have to go down and talk to them. Yeah.
Well, it's a family pony.
Fella.
Well, they're all family ponies, I guess. But Walter Langhard owns Angelina Coralina. Good name, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Angelina Coralina. Very pretty. Very pretty.
Took a long time to pull up this
remarkable.
pony.
Quite remarkable. Right, I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna go and talk to the children.
Good.
Find out
just
how her
keep
English
Martin away
is.
from them if you think that's a sensible thing to do. Thanks for that, Hayley. Sally Langhard. Very stylish indeed. So Hayley and Martin are going to find out a bit more about some of the stories behind these ponies as they wander back. And we're seeing St. Moritz at its very best this afternoon. Our next race will be the ski shoring race. That's where the riders are on skis behind the horses. It's a crazy, crazy way to race horses. And that's coming up at 1 o'clock local time here in about 20 minutes time. Without Elegant Lando number 9, there's a field of 10 to go to the start there for that one. Over 2,700 meters. So that's 1 mile, 5.5 furlongs in old terms. What a thrill for this young lady as she came through the snow here on a time of 48.79 seconds, according to Longines, our official timekeepers. Brilliant, they're all coming in. And yeah, the number 1 pony was a much smaller stature, as you can see there. So Tatiana didn't really have much of an opportunity to get Nat Brennig Teddy involved, because he just clearly was a little bit outclassed and out-muscled by the bigger ponies in this competition. There we go. So what a great scene, what a great moment. I bet she'll remember this for a long time. She's only 13 years old, this young lady, Sally Langhard. And Hayley has made her way down to the winner's enclosure.
I have, and it's good scenes down here. And some of the riders just coming back in as well. And the music triumphant as well. The riders will be back out for a photo very shortly. And there's Sally Langhard as well, who's enjoyed that. And we've got the lady that came second on Asian Dancer. Now I have to say, Aliyah Jansa, did you enjoy that?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah. Your horse was travelling very well throughout the race. Were you thinking at one point maybe you could go in and win?
Yeah, I think so.
What's it like riding on the snow and the ice?
It's very nice, but it's other feeling than on grass.
Do you feel safe or do you feel nervous?
When we go in the start machine, it's then I got a little bit nervous, but so during the race, it's a very nice feeling.
Do you get excited about riding here in St. Moritz?
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I'm 13 years old.
Wow. 13. And how many pony races have you ridden in?
I don't know, it's my second season. Last year I started with pony races in January.
Really? Wow. And how many winners have you had?
One.
That's good. That's getting you going. When you're older, would you like to be a professional jockey?
Yeah, I would like to make the amateur license.
Where are you from? Where have you grown up?
In Zurich.
So you're local. How exciting. Have you got family and friends here today?
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. That's really exciting. And you must be pleased with Asian Dancer today, running a really good race.
Yeah.
That's superb. Well, I think the presentation, thank you for your time. Well done. Brilliant. Great English.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll let you go and join the others as they're being welcomed up. Mike, for the presentation once again.
Yeah, thanks, Hayley. This is the pony presentation. And Frau Angie Broger, who I think is the president of the, with Martina Blochlinger, the president of the Pony Club over here in Switzerland, are making the presentations then to Sally Langhard, Frau Angie Broger and Martina Blochlinger. We saw them here last week giving out various bunches and bouquets. Martin Kelly's earned himself a brownie point because he's just brought us a nice cup of hot coffee and a little bit of sustenance as well. Not any alcohol sustenance, but a little bit of food. Temperatures here now at St. Moritz, they're now, what are we, 0. We've risen to 0. And to be honest, this is just about as warm as it's going to get. Although, do you know what? I'm just thinking about, yeah, it probably rises just, this will be about as warm as it gets all day today here. Martin Kelly, who joins me alongside.
Well, I tell you, it's lovely down there. If you're in the sunshine, it's a bizarre microclimate because you're so cold in the shade, into the sun because we're so high, the sun's very strong, and you warm up very, very quickly.
Yeah, it is beautiful. As soon as you get into that shadow, though, goodness me,
it drops.
It takes you
really
seconds for you to start feeling it, doesn't it?
No, but the weather is lovely.
Oh, isn't that great seeing these youngsters? They're only 13, these children. I think Yara Seacrest, who rode Humble Mind, she's a little bit older. She's 14. So the skioring starts at 1 o'clock. One of the great spectacles of the white turf here at beautiful St. Moritz in the Engadin Valley.
And there's some wonderful shots, Mike, and having spent the week here, you get up into the mountains and look down. They call this place on top of the world, and that's exactly how you feel the higher you get into the mountains looking down the valleys. It is absolutely, it's stunning. It really is stunning.
We were talking about that hotel there, Martin, earlier today, how it isn't for those that, you know, earn normal money in the world. It's a very, very exclusive hotel, the Palace.
Well, one of the trainers was saying he tried to put his owners in there for 2 nights over the course of last weekend. And the prices were just extraordinary. He said just as well the price included breakfast.
But no dinner. No dinner.
And you'd hope that breakfast may have included cornflakes with sort of gold dust sprinkled across the top, given it was so expensive. But it's a lovely, lovely hotel there.
Different world up here, it really is.
And it's interesting, Mike, how that wind's picked up as well over the course of the last hour or so. And when we arrived here this morning, it was still. You get out there now, and it is breezy. It is breezy.
I'm looking at the flags actually, and they'll be racing with the wind behind their backs coming down the home straight.
But this next race, I having not had the opportunity to see it last week with the Renntag course being abandoned.
Yes.
I can't wait to see the skioring. I was just by the weighing room about half an hour ago, and there was people coming out of the jockey's door carrying skis. Well, what are they doing here? We're horse racing. You forget the skioring's coming up and they're going to be towed along by horses.
Well, of course, these horses last week, they had to be ridden by jockeys because the skioring was abandoned, as you said, Martin. I love the way they harrow the track as well. It's all done very professionally, and there's a radar device that goes around checking to make sure that there are no things happening under the surface, under the snow with the ice that they don't like the look of.
And with this skioring as well, we're looking at the starting stalls when we were down the track one morning, and Christian van der Reck was explaining how the drivers or the jockeys of these horses, a lot of which can't actually ride themselves, they They aren't necessarily horsemen, they're good skiers. And he said even if you think you're a good skier, you need to be the ability of a skier to come down from the top of the mountain on one ski. That's the level of skiing ability you need to have to do this. But the drivers start behind the stalls. Obviously the horse is in with the back gates closed. And the driver, if you were skioring, Mike, you'd have to hold the reins and choose whether to go under the back door, as the horse goes out the front door, or use your crash helmet to break through it yourself.
Would you? Oh, is that an option for you, is it? We'll watch that in a minute. There we go. All these brave gentlemen and ladies here. Bahama Moon then, Franco Moro, Sociopath, Eric Botlang, Taron, who won here last week, Valeria Hollinger, November Rain, Andy Villy, Harry the Eagle, Yves von Balmus, Acteur de l'Ecu, Leo Luminati, Vienna Woods, Jakob Broger, Box Office, ridden by Selena, Volta, Valeria and Atlantico, in the hands there of Adrian Bangerter, and Zambizo is number 11, Adrian von Gunten.
And just to say, Mike, the jockey of Box Office, Selena Volta, we may well have heard from a connection of hers earlier on today.
Go on.
The chairman.
Oh, yes.
The chairman's daughter.
Is it the chairman's daughter?
Yeah, riding for Christian von der Eck.
Oh, fantastic. And Box Office was famous, Martin, because?
It was the legendary AP McCoy's final ride under rules at Sandown back in April of 2015.
When we're all hoping that AP, who never gets things wrong, would have gone out on a winner, but in the end, I think he finished third, didn't he?
He finished third in the end, yeah, and he's been
Came
racing.
There, looked like getting involved, but
Mersbach Manor Silks, yeah.
That's right. Amazing, isn't it? These colours then, that's Vienna Woods colours there, number 7. We saw Taron winning last week in the pink, winning over at the flat race, of course. Box Office just gone through the shop there, just talking about Box Office. And he wears a noseband. So Selena's got to be a really good skier, as you said. Very, very proficient skier to even get involved in any of these skioring races. Mind you, I'd love to have a crack at it, Martin, wouldn't you?
I could think of nothing worse. If you'd seen me skiing this week, Mike, you'd know that I wouldn't be even allowed to put the skis on a skioring jockey, never mind have a go myself.
Sociopath. Noseband on Bahama Moon as well. I'm just picking up one or two of these clues.
And if you think, Mike, as well about sort of jockeys when they're riding, the control they've got through the horse's mouth through the reins, all the skioring jockey has is the right rein and a very minuscule amount of left and right to control the movement of the horse. So they can't sort of pull the reins and steer like a normal jockey. So the left hand is used pretty much to hold on, but it's the right hand that controls the bridle through the mouth.
Because it's a right-handed track?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Taron. We're on the four furlong flat last week. They're about to come out to the track here very, very shortly. The race due off in about 9 minutes' time.
It'll be interesting to get the thoughts of Hayley when we next catch up with her, because she's ridden on the track this week. The top horse here, Bahama Moon, has also sat on Box Office as well. So she's been on board both of the Christian von der Eck runners.
Did she sit on Box Office?
She did yesterday morning on the training track, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know whether she's there or not. She's not at the moment. She'll be with us very, very shortly. She's a little bit occupied right now. Zambiso the Grey, well, at least he can pick him out anyway, at least. So last Sunday's 800-metre flat race, well, you can't really draw any conclusions from that. You've got, I think, 5 of them took part in that race last week. It was won by Taron, in second was Bahama Moon, and then Atlantico was third. November Rain and Harry the Eagle in 4th and 5th, but that bears absolutely no resemblance to what's going to be happening here in a few minutes' time, Martin.
Yeah, and I think 3 of those who are running today were declared to run last weekend, but with a change of conditions, they came out. So number 6, Acteur de l'Ecu, who has actually got a really good record on these kind of races. 8 times he's gone skioring, 7 times he's been placed. He was scratched last weekend. Vienna Woods was also scratched. And then we've got Zambizo as well, who was also scratched last weekend. But the horses and the riders starting to get ready to come out onto the track. Let's head back down, though, and rejoin Hayley.
Yeah, just watching them in the pre-parade ring, and you can just see that the handlers that look after the horses on either side, because one thing we must remember, these horses do not, these riders do not have brakes, because when they pull, they're on skis. So this is why it is so unique, it's so different. You need the right kind of horse to get used to it. They can only practice
in their own countries away from snow with someone rollerblading and skating behind them, and then normally with a rider on top. So that's how they all begin. The horse is looking in absolutely terrific shape. Acteur de la Queue, gorgeous condition. That's horse number 6 on the card. And some really top-class skiers. And I kind of wanted to find out, is it a horseman doing this? Is it a good skier? So it's kind of a combination of both. But really, ultimately, you need a really top-class skier steering these horses. Someone that can basically come down from the top of the mountain on one ski. That is how good these riders need to be. So these drivers need to be. And if they have had some carriage experience in steering horses, then that also counts for quite a lot as well. So some beautiful horses here. Taron in the pink as well. Valeria Hollinger on board. That is Peter Schergen's runner here today. And these horses can only really practice up here in St. Moritz. Andy Willey is on board Rain November for Andreas Schara. That's horse number 4 on the card. And it looks as though it's going to be hugely competitive. What I love is you've got the guys, the handlers leading up. Team Von Dreck looking great in the orange and purple, and they're wearing the same silks as the jockeys as well. So lots to look forward to here as they're on their final few laps before they're going to head out. Zambiso, number 11, Adrian Guten on board. Adrian von Guten, sorry, for Claudia Erni, who we've already seen in the winner's enclosure here. And I think they're going to be heading out very shortly. But one thing I did learn riding these horses up here, they're not weak by any means. They're pretty strong. They enjoy the snow, the different conditions, the different setup. Bahama Moon, he's been quite hard work to ride out. He's just come to life. He's an 8-year-old by Lope de Vega. Normally he's an absolute bus at home. Very straightforward, very easy. But he's come to life up here in the mountains. So it's pretty exciting and lots to look forward to. I've been skiing with Peter Schergen. I can tell you he's a good man on a set of skis as well. He's just here. Peter, grab a quick word. Taron, what about this horse skioring today?
I hope he have a good start gate, number 3, and last time he was good starter, 800 meters he won, and I hope he have a good start, and we look today, he can the long distance, I think 2000 no problem, and then we look for the best.
Brilliant. You're happy with the conditions for him out there today?
Yeah, the condition is good for him and good start gate. I think we have a good chance.
Brilliant. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks to Peter Schergen there. Then he's got Taron hoping to come home in front once again over the extended distance. So he's got a huge chance today. And the horse is looking laid back. That's one of the key things as well that you've got to do is choose the right kind of horse to bring out over here. Horses that are laid back, that are not going to be stupid, not going to react too much to the sights, the sounds, and get lit up. One horse that does this look quite revved up, I suppose, would be Zambiso. That's horse number 11. Nothing to worry about. He's just got a very quick, toey kind of walk going on. He's just very forward going, alert, I'd say, and on the ball. So he's a horse that looks as though he might be quite sharp away, and he's going to be steered by Adrian von Gunten, who we mentioned earlier on in the red and blue colours. So Bahama Moon in stall 1, Franco Muro having his 98th skioring race today. So finally he's going to be working towards having 100 skioring races, which is very admirable indeed. So we've heard from some of the connections, Martin. The horse is looking terrific here. They haven't quite left to go out onto the track proper yet. Horse number 6 just slightly on his toes. Leo Luminati steering Acteur de la Queue, the 10-year-old here, who is having his first start on the snow this afternoon. So how are they shaping up in the betting?
During the week, Hayley, that this could really be a big German match-off really between Peter Schergen and Christian von der Eck, with Bahama Moon for Christian alongside Box Office taking on last week's winner Taron. But neither of those, or none of those three, are actually favourite. It's number 2, Sociopath, who heads the market here. Sociopath, who was 7th in the race here last week over 800 metres. He's the 2-to-1 market leader. He was 2nd and 3rd in a couple of races here last season, so he does go well in these events and may just come on a little bit and prove a little bit sharper for his run here last week. And now, in fact, 7-4, the market leader, Sociopath. Bahama Moon, he is a 6-to-1 chance. He was 2nd to Taron last week. He finished off quite strongly, and I think he could go well today, Bahama Moon. Taron, who came home in front last week, is the 3rd favourite currently. He trades at 9-2. The 2nd favourite, well, that's number 11, Zambizo, who comes here on the back of a win at the final start last year. He had a couple of goes here last season. He was beaten on the first Sunday and then got riderless in this particular race. So he's got a point to prove here. Having not managed to complete with his jockey last year, so he's 2nd favourite. And the other German runner that we've touched on as well, Box Office, AP McCoy's final ride at Sandown. Number 8, Box Office, currently is one of the outsiders of the field. He's a 20-to-1 chance. So interesting, Mike. I thought the German horses may dominate here. Taron and Bahama Moon, who came home strongly for 1st and 2nd, but he was a horse who was well behind them on that occasion. Sociopath, who's a strong favourite, he's 7-4 at the head of the market.
Martin, thank you very much indeed. And Eric Botlang is riding. Josef Stadelman's got Acteur de Lecu in here as well. Christian von der Recker with Bahama Moon and Box Office, and Peter Schiergen's Taron. Interesting, they're pulling the skiers around here. We've got 2 horses in this race that are sons of Derby winners. Pourmois, the sire of Taron, won the Epsom Derby, of course, and Lope de Vega, French Derby hero, who is a sire of Bahama Moon, who's just leading the parade as they go past us down to the start. Peter Schiergen is walking down the middle of the track there, the former top jockey and now top trainer, of course. He's walking just alongside, well, a little bit apart from Taron. Valeria Hollinger in the saddle. Looks like Peter could still be riding. He's still looking incredibly fit, Hayley, isn't he?
I'll tell you what, Mike, he's a fast skier as well.
I bet he is.
Good afternoon with Claudia and Christian von der Reck and him yesterday, and my word, he was fast down them slopes. He's a talented trainer, jockey, skier.
All-rounder. And famously, of course, the winning trainer of the Ark and the King George at Ascot with that brilliant mare, Dane Dream. Looking at Zambiso the Grey, who brings them out at the back. So they're parading here. This is worth 15,000 Swiss francs in the pot today. We don't really have a feature race this afternoon on the 2nd day of the St. Moritz, but I suspect, yeah, that at heart people are looking at this one and thinking, this is what it's all about. There's something a little bit different.
Nowhere else in the world, we have got absolutely something unique that you can't find anywhere else taking part in front of us right now.
Yeah, you're so right, Hayley. So right.
And it's the lunacy of it. It is absolutely mental. And I love doing things. You've done a Cresta run. You might have been forced into doing it, but we love going out to see high adrenaline stuff. Not everyone, but for most of us. Always looking for that, you know, something just to really get your blood up. And I tell you what,
got to do it every now and again, haven't you?
Absolutely, yeah.
Otherwise, life's too boring.
Well, that's it. I mean, some people are happy to sit back and enjoy the ride, but there's some of us idiots out there that like to throw ourselves off the mountain face.
Have you ever done a bungee jump? So I haven't done that.
I've done a skydive, not a bungee jump.
I've done a parachute jump, not a skydive. I couldn't do a skydive.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like the fact that the chute opened as soon as I jumped out of the airplane. That's what I liked about my parachute jump. Free falling several thousand feet does not appeal to me, Hayley Moore, at all.
No. And bungee jump doesn't appeal to me too much.
I think that'll just cause problems.
Yeah. Fair play to all our skiing participants today, and good luck to Franco Muro, who's a bit of a legend here up in St. Moritz, so it's great to have him in action here.
Yeah, 98th race, that is going some, isn't it? It really is.
He won't like me saying this, he's 59 years old, soon to be 60.
Is he?
In just a matter of days, and well, I tell you what, he's fit. Very
He's
fit.
got to be, isn't he?
Oh, so fit.
Here we go, they're getting ready
Yeah.
behind the gates now.
Palmer Moon's just getting a little bit on his toes. He's just looking back at the stalls there and backing away. He's having a little moment. It's his first race on the snow, so hopefully.
Is he a newcomer, Palmer Moon? Is
yeah,
he?
yeah.
Apart from the snow, well, newcomer to the skioring here. Yeah.
Well, he's a newcomer to.
He ran on the snow last week, didn't he? In his
Yeah,
second.
on the 800 metre sprint race. Yeah. Here he goes.
Now, where's Franco going to get? There he is. So they've got options here, Hayley. When they go through the stall, the gates open, and they've got to either duck down or. Is there an option? This is a risky thing going through those gates, isn't it? I mean, one false move from the horse, and you go crashing into
Peter Schergen with
framework.
Caron, who won last week. So they must be going odds and evens, Mike, loading them up. So horse 1 in stall 1, horse 3 into 3. Then they'll put the even numbers in.
So they put the horses into the stalls then without the skiers behind them. And then the skiers...
That's not easy.
No.
Even getting them in the stalls isn't easy. I'm surprised they use stalls if you think of the way the trotting starts. But I guess it's just too hard to get a fair start otherwise. Everyone else knows far more about this than you or I, I'm afraid, don't they? The first to admit that. But
it's the tactics as well, isn't it? I mean, goodness me. You've got to give
simple
enough
colours
space.
as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Makes your life a little bit
that's
easier.
true. They tend to be just, you know, they usually have yellow sleeves, don't they, or contrasting sleeves. That's the grey Zambizo. He's going forward. Red with the yellow sleeves. That's Vienna Woods. Jakob Broger. What can I tell you about Vienna Woods? Not much.
It's a filly. Jakob Broger.
Now they're doing some of the even numbers.
Last time out the other day.
That's a favourite going forward, Hayley. Sociopath.
Eric.
Yeah, they've worked it out that it's actually safer to use stalls to start them than any other way. You get all tangled up horribly, couldn't they? There's November Rain. I hadn't seen him yet. He's wearing a sheepskin noseband.
He's looking very laid back and relaxed. And the rider behind, well, the handler, so that we haven't got the skiers there just yet.
No, not yet. Zambizo Atlantico. That's the green colours of Atlantico. Ran well here last week.
He's just getting very scared. Atlantico. It's all the flapping and wavering. Now, these are thoroughbreds. This is not what they're used to. They're not carriage horses. That's why we have speed, we have the stamina. That's why we have a great spectacle. And that's why it is so unique, because we have got pure thoroughbreds lining up here this afternoon. Gets your blood up, gives you goosebumps.
Yeah, I'm getting nervous for them already here. So Vienna Woods has gone in. Still quite a few of them still to be loaded. Zambizo's one of them. Here's Acteur de l'Ecu, the other runner from Josef Stadelman's yard. He's training the favourite Sociopath here. So slowly but surely they're getting them away into the starting stalls.
Enjoy, everyone. Enjoy. It's a rare spectacle.
Interesting that Atlantico is going to be loaded in with a skier still behind him. It just must depend on the individual, mustn't it?
I think he was behaving better when he had the skier there, and then
without.
Yeah,
he was getting a bit edgy, wasn't he, earlier?
Whereas here come the other skiers. Ruger, good luck to everyone.
Yeah, the Woods in. Goodness me, they're almost ready to go here. Not quite. Atlantico's gone in then. Zambizo, the grey, could easily be the last one. drawn on the inside. But if you're really into your skiing and your adrenaline rush, then I guess taking part in a race like this must be an absolute joy. Right, okay, so he's in, Zambizo. So Adrian von Gunten has got to get hold of the bar. And when he does, I think they'll just about all be in. And they're all clearing away very quickly. Get out of the way fast if I were you. And we're ready for this incredible spectacle. And Bizo's head is turned the wrong way. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, and away, and Zambizo completely missed the kick. And so too did Atlantico. They got off to a really, really slow start here for this ski-curing race. Over 13.5 furlongs. It's this Credit Suisse Grand Prix Von Silverplana, and they are spread all over the track. But out in front here, it's Harry the Eagle who shows the way, also showing promise as box office early on. Right up there too is Acteur de l'Écu. On the inside is Sociopath, the favourite, recovering at the back of the field. Atlantico is saving ground by going round the inner. Zambizo's gone very wide on that turn, the other slow start of the grey. But as they race on down the back straight, extraordinary spectacle. It's Harry the Eagle who's just ahead of Bahama Moon. Not much to choose between them. They're 2 or 3 lengths ahead of them in 3rd place. That's Sociopath. Taron's got a good position. He's in 4th place going down the back. Just behind them as well is Acteur de l'Écu. He's in the middle of the field at this stage. Goodness me, the kickback is quite extraordinary. It really is. And Atlantico still struggling at the back of the field as the runners head down towards the final turn in the race. Then they're about to turn down the side of the course still, and still out in front it's Harry the Eagle, who's got a narrow advantage. Not much to choose between him and Bahama Moon though, as they straighten up now for the winning line. Harry the Eagle still has it. Taron's trying to make up some ground as well as they come down the home straight. Bahama Moon on the inside is battling away. Bahama Moon and Harry the Eagle. Harry the Eagle just ahead of Bahama Moon as they race up towards the line. Here come the closers. November Rain closing together with Vienna Woods, and that goes to the judge. I think Harry the Eagle might have just held on, but that was the tightest finish of the Sciori race. It really was. Vienna Woods sustained a really great rally. November Rain, I didn't see early on, he's come from a mile back in the black jacket. He's involved as well. And that was one heck of a finish as they head down the back straight now. They're all trying to pull them up. Not easy. Goodness me, are they still carrying on? Is they still carrying on here?
It's a mile 5.5.
A mile 5.5.
Yeah, I think they're still going.
Well, that was really tight the first time round. This is a circuit still to go. It came too early there. The race is still carrying on. And amazingly, Zambizo's come back from the back of the field, with November Rain is right up there as well. My apologies. They've still got another 5 furlongs to run. Now they're turning into the home straight. Zambizo, who got off to a really slow start, is probably just in front from Vienna Woods on the inside as they come down the home straight, just over a furlong to go. And Zambizo has come from last to first and is drawing clear with Adrian von Gunten to win this one really impressively. Here's Zambizo in front then, from Vienna Woods in second. Back home in third, November Rain, who ran really nicely. Sociopath, the favourite, was only fourth. Now they can pull up. And having been told that there was an extra circuit, it was just the way they finished on that first circuit. They came charging past us. But anyway, it's all over. Zambizo, the horse that left the stalls at a crawl, came into the race on the second circuit round the back and has won quite comfortably. Trained by Claudia Erni. Claudia's had a good day today.
I tell you what, I think the horse is going to take a fair bit of pulling up as well. The rider, Adrian von Gunten, this is the moment where he can't really do much. He just has to let the horse eventually ease down, steady up a little bit, and that's after going 2,700 meters. So a lot of them are starting to come back to a nice steady canter, but then you almost, you don't want them to refill their lungs here. So this is even part of the spectacle. Everyone's enjoying a great finish here, but the handler's out on the track now because I think they're going to have to try and do their best just to grab hold of the horses and get them to come back and relax. Obviously they're herd animals, so if you can get the first one just to relax and come back and listen. We have a look back at the replay, which was a pretty
chaotic.
fair start. You can see why they use the stalls after the commotion, the effort, the time it takes to get them loaded up. They're then able to get into a competitive start, a lot more, Mike, than if they weren't there. I mean, it wasn't easy, but it was better than nothing. So the riders are brave, and they're just starting to
How
get...
tight is it on that turn, Hayley?
Yeah.
Look at this.
Luckily, they were...
Look at this.
It was spread out far afield.
There wasn't much room for November Rain on the inside there, was there?
Not at the front end.
Sociopath never really got into it, the favourite.
Some skiers, aren't they?
Brilliant, aren't they?
Every horse that takes part here, to me, is something to admire.
Claudia Ernie's had a great day. That's her second win of the afternoon. She had the winner earlier on, of course, of the 6.5 furlong race, a surprise winner with Notte Aroma.
Just to go through the process of getting these horses trained to take part is quite special. And well done to everyone involved. A good, fair race, I think. I mean, I'm not a steward. I haven't looked at any moments, but plenty to celebrate for the winning connections. Well done to them. Everyone's a winner in my eyes for taking part in this race. The bravery, getting the horses prepared to do it.
Harry the Eagle's coming in. He ran a good race early on. He was up there early.
Yeah.
Well beaten in the end.
He probably needed that shorter trip, didn't he, for Karina Schneider. Well done to connections, though. Competitive race throughout. Quite a stamina distance as well.
Do you know what happened last year with this horse, Hayley? Zambizo. He actually lost his skier early on in the race.
Wow.
And he galloped all the way around without the skier 12 months ago.
Wow.
So
a
maybe,
much happier situation this time round.
He didn't seem happy at the start today either, did he? The fact that he gave away all that ground and stuff, but he's clearly very talented. And fair play to Adrian von Gunten.
If it was him last year that lost.
We'll find out.
Horse,
yeah, we'll find out. That'll be interesting,
yeah.
won't it?
Talk about getting it right second time. That was quite exciting, I have to say. Just watching racehorses galloping, though, like, it's quite unique because I know the riders are so far behind them. It's almost as if they're free. They're just out having their own race. Just shows that horses want to gallop, don't they? These thoroughbreds, they want to go out there and be competitive. It's bred into them. And that's exactly what they did out there today. They just got on with it and did their best. So Harmer Moon's coming back in. I'm not sure if Christian Vonderett will have me riding out again. I think he got tired.
Well, I tell you something, that was really interesting because I thought they were racing up to the line. They still had a second to go. The way they were closing that first time round, I just thought I got completely bamboozled by that. But of course, it's a mile 5.5, isn't it?
It is, but I mean the whole.
And the circuit here, Hayley, what is it? Just under 6 furlongs?
Yeah, just under.
Yeah.
So we had the start of the 6.5 here, and then it's a 6 furlong round. It's tight. It is very tight, but winner coming back in, and what a moment to win a scoring race here in St. Moritz. That is very special indeed. So well done to all involved here today. Sociopath, the favourite in the end, finishing back in 4th place. Harry the Eagle tired for 5th. The result looks confirmed, it's up as well. So Zambizo for Adrian von Gutten and Claudia Ernie getting the better of Vienna Woods Jakob Bruja, Karina Fay, and then third home, Andy Willie, November Rain for Andreas Schara. And then fourth home, Sociopath, Eric Botlang and Joseph Sadelman. And then fifth was Harry the Eagle, Yvonne Valmuz and Karina Schneider. So really exciting stuff. Unfortunately, Taron, bred by the Derby winner Paul Moore, not able to build on success over 800 metres last time out, but I think maybe he was just finding it probably too far today. Didn't get a great position early on, and it's hard, isn't it, to get back involved. So the winner's coming back in. I wouldn't mind doing a skiing session with Adrian Von Gutten. I can tell you what, he could teach me a thing or two or more on the skis.
We'll hear from him in a moment or two. Great job. And of course, who's the winning owner?
We've got
Martina Stadelman again.
Yeah.
And it was Adrian that fell last year in this race when Zambizo carried on all the way to the line without him behind him. Finished a long way in front. The presentation then for this ski-oaring race is about to begin. What a day for Martina Stadelman. That's Bert in the background, our master of ceremonies, talking us through. That's interesting because Nottia Roma won in completely different colours to this. But as you mentioned, there's obviously there must be a sort of a protocol about colours in skiori. They're very plain colours, one for the sleeves, one for the jacket, or all one colour. There's not much else to go on, really.
To be honest, Mike, the thing is you're never really going to have a bigger field than here in St. Moritz. So obviously we were down one runner today, but I think you're always going to have maximum capacity because you're limited with how many runners you have here because of the stalls. So they've got, I think, spare stalls if something is needed, but there's never going to be many horses that tick all the boxes either for this such unique event.
These aren't Martina's own colours, they belong to the driver, Adrian Von Gunten's own colours. That's the rules here in the ski-oaring. It's the driver's colours, not the owner. Now we've got the presentation here, Herr Robert Keelan, who's head of Emerging Europe International Wealth Management at Credit Suisse. Herr Robert Keelan is going to be presenting the trophies shortly to Adrian Von Gunten, to Claudia Erni and Martina Stadelman, who've had a double here this afternoon on the white turf at St. Moritz. We'll chat to the winning rider in a moment or two, right after he's got his well-deserved trophies. What a way to come back after getting dumped last year. Zambizo galloped with great enthusiasm for the rest of the race and finished well clear, apparently. And then, 12 months on, he gives away all that ground at the start and shows what he's made of again this time.
I think
completing the race properly.
That goes to show, doesn't it, that these horses are basically, it doesn't matter what they're carrying behind them. You can have a skier there or not. It doesn't matter because weight doesn't really come into it. On ice, on snow, so quite different, isn't it? If anything, you always feel if you're heavier, you go that bit quicker. Lovely scenes here, though, in the sunshine.
Yeah, great stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
What a thrill that was for him.
No, it might be a boring thing to say, Mike, but this is really dangerous, this sport, and it's just nice that everyone's enjoyed a unique spectacle and come back safe, because this is something that real professionals need to be doing, real top-class skiers need to be doing.
There's Martina on the left there with Adrian.
I wonder she enjoys having horses in training. She's a good afternoon.
Yeah, well, it's flat racing, ski-oaring or jumps.
Yeah.
And Claudia Erni is on the right of the picture there, the winning trainer. And look at the trophy.
Yeah, it looks beautiful, doesn't it? I bet that's something unique as well.
Yay, fantastic. Well done, Adrian Von Gunten.
Fair play to everyone. This 9-year-old son of Zambezi's
Und wir
son.
bedanken uns ganz herzlich bei der Credit
I'm sure he'll
Suisse.
come back for a few more years yet as well.
Stefan Übersachs.
The oldest horse in the lineup this afternoon, the age of 10,
Silva Plana, der
was Actor
Gemeindepräsident
de la
von
Coupe.
Silva
He didn't get
Plana.
involved in the finish,
Ist Daniel Bossart
unfortunately.
heute bei uns. Ist Beifahrer Adrian von Guten, ursprünglich ein
15,000 Swiss
Amateur.
francs in the pot here, 7,200 to the winner. Kindly sponsored by Credit Suisse as well.
Somit ist auch klar,
That's where all the riders' silks have got on their.
Lovely flowers. Do they get a watch for this one as well or not? No.
No, we've got the champagne, we've got the flowers.
The trophy.
There's the big boss as well. Thank you to him for giving it all. We heard from him at the top of the programme, Thomas Walter. Enthusiasm gets the show on the road. And plenty to celebrate here as well.
The Grand Prix von Silva Pana this was, and all those Silva Pana guys are wearing those blue and black suits, track suits. I don't know what they do, but
An Daniel Bossart und Clarita Wies von der Gemeinde Silva
we
Plana.
need to find that out, don't we? Sponsored by Credit Suisse. Maybe they've got something to do with the bank as well, I don't know.
Maybe there's bankers.
Could be. Could be. They're all here in the there's an area right next to our commentary box. This is like a sort of a reception area for sponsors and important people, VIPs, and they were all in there a few moments ago. Martin, so happy scenes down there. This gentleman has had a fantastic few minutes. Well done to him.
He has indeed, Mike, and not his first success as well in the skewering race. He's had a good association with a very famous mare we'll come on to. But first off, Adrian, well done. That was a great win for you.
Thank you very much. I speak not very well English, but a little bit.
You sound like you're speaking brilliant English to me.
Oh, thanks you. No, it was a great race. I have a bad start, but I know I have a good horse and then wait. And then I come, and he fight very good, and it was a big race for us. Yeah. Thank you very much.
And he's come from the back of the field. Did you manage to find an easy way through?
Easy way, yeah, it was easy. Yes, the others come a little bit back, and we go out straight.
And you didn't find the kickback too bad and the snow in your face from the back of the field?
That's normal. You have a mouth like that a little bit. That's normal in the skiing.
And this horse deserves to come through and put in the big performance after the unfortunate time here last year.
Yeah, last year was the first year for the horse, and it was a little bit difficult for me and for the horse, and now we know us.
And do you think he's the sort of horse, Adrian, that could keep on coming back and be very competitive and dominant here on the ice?
Yeah, I think he's a horse with a good valor, and he's a great galloper, and I think it's a horse for skiing. Really, it's a horse for 3,000 meters.
And you're obviously is a stayer.
Yeah, really.
And you've had experience of these races before with a horse called Mombasa.
Yes, that was a really great story for me with Mombasa, and the trainer was Peter Schiergen, and we are good friends too now, and it was great. He has won with Daydream before I come with Mombasa, and it was a great story. 3 times I was King of Engadin, and it's a great story, yes.
So she came here 3 years from Germany and won every time?
Yes, like that. And now Mombasa live here in the Engadin. Yes, by a friend of me, and he has a nice life now.
Do you still get to see her now and again?
I was yesterday for see Mombasa, yeah.
And apart from that, you're obviously a very good skier. You're riding the skewering races. What else do you do with your time?
I think today it's good when you can ride race horses. I ride in training a little bit, and I like to skiing, and then you have the feeling. I think that's important for make skiing.
And where are you based?
Sorry?
Where do you live?
I live in the near of Bern, the capital of Switzerland. Yeah.
And this, for many of us here, is a terrific spectacle to watch. It's a very unique experience.
Yes, it's just in St. Moritz you have a race like that, and I think it's very special for the peoples, and the people like the skiing, and it's action, and it's a special race.
And do you think we'll see this horse back here next weekend?
I hope so.
Yeah. Another win, hopefully.
I hope.
Many congratulations.
Thank you very much, and good evening. Good.
Thank you. There we go, Mike. Delighted jockey. He's got his nice pot of flowers to take home as well. Great success aboard Mombasa in previous years, but Zambizo it is that brings Adrian van Gunten home in front in the skewering.
Yeah, lovely interview, Martin. He's absolutely chuffed to bits. And he lives in Bern. I've been to Bern many, many years ago.
He was the paddock pick, Mike. He was the horse that looked really up for it today. He was the one that was just on his toes and toey around, but he's loved it, hasn't he? He's come to life up here in the mountains.
Fabulous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a really good race coming up shortly, Hayley. It's the 1:30. We're just running a bit short of time here, in a sense that we're running a bit late. But this 1:30 race will probably be off about 10 minutes late the way things are going. But it's an 8-runner race. It's over 9 furlongs. And they'll start down at the entrance, down at the chute, before they join the main track. Now, the main track here is, we're just working it all out. It's just around about 5 furlongs, just under 5 furlongs round. It's very sharp. Anyway, Berari is back here, the winner of the Grosser Prize von St. Moritz 12 months ago, but he's saddled with a big weight this afternoon. Raphael Ling takes them out for John Best, and it means that Kieran O'Neill is on Toro Chica, who ran second here last week over 800 meters. This is a good little lineup, this, Hayley. We've got Ulster, number 2, who was formerly trained in the UK by Archie Watson, now with Miro Weiss, and had a rating in the UK of 88, which is pretty good. That's a high-class handicapper sort of rating. Out of interest, Toro Chica's rated 83 back home in the UK. And Meladino is an interesting recruit as well to this sport too. Is pretty useful in Germany. Christian von der Recker trains Meladino, and it's a little bit of a drop in grade for him today. It'll be interesting to see how they bet on this race as we go through the runners and riders for this Grand Prix Longines race number 4. Berari, Raphael Ling is number 1. Ulster, Clement Leroux is number 2 for Miro Weiss. Then we got Parthenius and Lucas Delosier, Stradkirk, Tim Bergen, Toro Chica, ridden by Kieran O'Neill, Fiesta Dennis Sheargan, Meladino for René Pichulek, and we've got Way at the bottom there for Cheryl Schock, who had a winner here last week.
Yeah, big winner, wasn't it? Last minute, and she stepped in as a very able deputy.
For Antoine Coutier, went off.
Yeah.
Annoyed.
He was more annoyed, I'd say, when he found out the result as well. But hopefully John Best can be competitive here again with Berari carrying 62 kilos for the White Turf Racing, and Raphael Ling on board Kieran O'Neill on board Toro Chica with just 57.5 kilos on this occasion. A lovely view of the track. There's a good width of the course as well. It needs to be, of course, for all the exploits and excitement that goes on here on the frozen lake, especially for that skewering, and having plenty of space around one another. Glorious sunshine. Wind has just picked up very slightly, but let's go and get some betting news once again with Martin Kelly.
You're right to detail that wind has indeed picked up, but no wind here in the betting shop, but it's absolutely packed in here. This 4th race on the card, the 4th thoroughbred race anyway, professionals in action, has attracted the crowds. It's busy that it's been all day, and the market leader, well, that is the legend of the turf that is Bahari. Bahari is the market leader, currently trading at 2-1. Second favourite is Stradkirk, who was a winner here last week, albeit at a lower level. That was down in Category E, is up to Category B today, so Stradkirk Stradkirk, more on his plate, but it's proving popular second in at 11-4. It's then 4-1 for number 6. That is Fiesta, who wasn't beaten very fine to third place here last week in behind Torre Chica. Number 5, Torre Chica, a similar sort of a price at around the 9-2 mark for John Best, of course, the stablemate of Bahari. We then have at around 6-1 number 8, Weiwei for Cheryl Shock. Cheryl has got a very good record on this horse, has had 7 rides and 4 wins, and of course she was in winning form here last week as well. And then we have number 3, Parnithius, who is locally owned. Is a 3 times winner here in Switzerland. Parnithius currently trading quite short in the market, attracting a bit of support into 9-2. And the outsider of the field here, number 7, Melodino, who's a newcomer, not just to the ice, but a newcomer, first start in Switzerland for Melodino. That horse, the outsider of the field, at 10-1. So Bahari is the market leader, 2-1. Second best in then at 3-1. It's number 4. That is Stradkirk. It's 9-2, number 3, Parnithius. And 5-1 for number 6, Fiesta. So tight at the top of the market, Hayley and Mike, but market leader is Bahari, the white turf legend. John Best looking for a first win of the afternoon.
Martin, what price is, just remind us what price Toro Chica is, please?
Toro Chica, number 5, Kieran's Mount, 5-1 currently, so 5-1 for Toro Chica.
Right, interesting. Well, Bahari, yeah, he is a legend on these parts. He's racing at his 6th white turf meeting, and he's won 5 times here on the snow. St Moritz Bahari. He's got 62 kilos on his back, which equates to 9 stone 10 and a bit, 9 stone 10 and a half, more or less. Whereas Toro Chica has got 57 and a half kilos, which is 9 stone exactly, same weight as Fiesta, as the runners arrive down at the 9 furlong start. Stradkirk, who won here well last week, is back. Tim Bergen, the rider. So Bahari's got the orange cap on, and Toro Chica's got the white cap with the orange star. And the other 2 that have got the same owners, Fiesta and Melodino, the Store Chevrolet stable. We've got the grey Fiesta, and Melodino wears a sheepskin noseband. There's Melodino in the centre of your picture, and the grey is Fiesta. What do you fancy, Hayley?
I'm pretty hopeful that Toro Chica is going to build on what we saw last time out, second over that minimum of 800 metres that we were contending with, up to 1800 today, a mile and 1 for what we're used to dealing in back in the UK. I thought that she was quite nicely weighted for this, for the white turf race in UK, and John Best, as you say, doubly represented. Miro Wise has even more runners in the lineup. He's got Ulster, he's got Stradkirk, and he's also got towards the bottom of the weights, Weiwei. So he's got it all well sewn up here, and it's very tight in the Silver Challenge Trainer Trophy. Standings from last weekend, Miro Wise out on top with 20 points. John just in second, John Best on 18, and they're ahead of Theo Fankhauser, who has got 10, and then Tanja Gerber Fluman on 8 points. So it's pretty tight. John, we know, has done so
that was
well
last
here
week,
in the
of course.
past. Yeah. Over the 800 metres.
With Claudia Ernie having a couple of winners today, that changes everything, doesn't it? John, we're wanting to get something out of this, weren't he, John Best? Either his legend Bahari, who's a real favourite of mine, Hayley, because he never, ever knows when to give up, this horse.
That's the kind of horse that you need here, because it is very different. And if a horse could be rated £20 superior, if they don't act on the conditions, if they can't face the kickback, if they don't like running on ice and snow, they're not going to be able to perform to the horse that they are. And then you get other horses that relish it up here. The snow brings them to life. They have a real change of scenery to the max, to the extremity, not just change of yards, but it really is the ultimate change, isn't it, coming up here to St Moritz. And they can be a huge powerful horse compared to what they're like back in the UK and just, or wherever they've come from, and have a lot more to offer. So it makes it, I suppose, very open. I like horses that have got form when they've proven themselves to enjoy it. So you can see why Bahari is a real favourite here, because you just know that he's going to enjoy these conditions and give it his best shot. But
yeah, he won't be beaten for lack of trying. But he's got a heck of a task on here, I think, to give the weight away. I think Ulster's an interesting runner. Do you think?
Yeah,
2 wins at
trained
Kempton
by
early.
the champion trainer Miro Vise as well.
Yeah, do you remember when he was trained by Archie Watson?
Yeah.
He was running at Kempton last year, about a year or so ago. A couple of wins there. Yeah, he's getting £2 off Berari.
He's a real unknown here. It depends how he's enjoyed the training in the morning, a son of Intello. There's no rhyme or reason if he's going to enjoy it here or not. But what I respect is that he's trained by Miro Wise. He has a lot of success up here. And I just think you get that advantage of knowing what kind of horse to bring here to race on white turf. And that will be a huge positive that he's got a good horse here, nice form. And he knows exactly what type of horse it takes to win here.
Just waiting for Parthenius and the 2 stall Chevrolet horses, Fiesta and Meladino, to go in. Parthenius trained by Andreas Schara, a 7-year-old. You might remember him a few seasons ago, not that long ago. He was a fair hurdler for Dan Skelton, Parthenius. It's funny how horses get traded all around the world and end up in different places. So we're waiting for Meladino going in here. René Pichelek, the rider, German jockey riding for Christian von der Recker. And he's a real player here, Meladino, just a bit of a drop in class for him today. Tough race this. No wonder it's open in the market, as Martin was saying earlier. Parthenius is going in, just leaves the grey Fiesta. And I think he'll be the last one. So 1,800 metres, and away they go then for this Grand Prix Longines. And Berari made a decent start on the inside, trying to go with him as well as the grey Fiesta on the inside too. Right up there too is Toro Chica, and in fact it's Toro Chica that comes through and takes them along now. Also up there too is Fiesta. Last of all at this stage is Parthenius, just taken off his feet a little bit as they race through the first couple of furlongs. Ulster's made a reasonable start. He's on the inside, but as they settle down here, passing the judge with about 4.5 furlongs to go, Toro Chica is the leader, just from Meladino. Right up there, Fiesta. Ulster racing in 4th place on the rail. Stradkirk is next. He's just tracking the leaders in the red cap, Parthenius. Berari's lost his place after a promising start. They're getting a lot of snow kicked in his face at the moment, and Weiwei is the back marker, about 5 lengths off the speed then as they turn down the back straight, with Kieran O'Neill and Toro Chica just in front. But lobbing along in 2nd place is Meladino. I think is a real player here. He's travelling comfortably behind Toro Chica. Ulster, the grey, is 3rd on the inside. The other grey being ridden along there to go the gallop is Fiesta, just beginning to feel the pinch a bit. Berari's really struggling at the back of the field, I'm afraid, today, and he's being ridden along, disputing last place with Weiwei. So Kieran O'Neill at this stage is on the right horse, because he leads this field down inside the final quarter mile, with Toro Chica about to turn into the home straight. Meladino, the big danger on the outside, just beginning to wind up and mount a serious challenge. He's got about half a length to find as they turn into the home straight. Ulster is trying hard as well on the inside, coming there strongly. Toro Chica from Ulster, who's lunging late on the inside. They race inside the final 75 yards, and it's Toro Chica and Ulster. Ulster's going to get there and beats Toro Chica, with Stradkirk back in 3rd, and Meladino took 4th. So Ulster has got there in the hands of Clement Leroux. He's the stable jockey to Miro Weiss, the champion trainer here in Switzerland, and he has got up to win from Toro Chica in a thrilling finish there to this Grand Prix Longines. So John Best frustrated again this afternoon as Toro Chica was run down, Hayley.
Oh, sad. Yeah, really disappointed that Kieran O'Neill couldn't just quite hold on board Toro Chica, but she's run her absolute heart out, and it was 2nd last week over 800 metres, up to 1,800 today, and has got a lovely lead, nice and relaxed on the front end, only to be reeled in late on by the interesting newcomer, Ulster. It was the question mark, will the son of Intello act on the surface? Well, the question is answered with a yes. Miro Wise knows exactly what kind of horses to bring here. We saw him in the winner's enclosure with a double last weekend. And this former Archie Watson inmate has been well produced. He was ridden quite handy throughout, which paid to obviously be on the front end, away from that nasty kickback. And it has done it really well on debut here. So a winning start on the white turf for Ulster. 5-year-old son of Intello, who's come home pretty powerfully to reel in Toro Chico in the closing stages. And back in third place, we had Strade Kirk, who's run another good race, the winner from last weekend. Meladino's finished off well. That horse also ridden handily throughout. And Parthenius back in 5th place for Lucas Delusia and Andreas Schara. So
poor old Barari, Hayley. He just didn't go today,
he was out very wide.
I'm really disappointed for him.
Raphael Ling kept him out of the kickback when he wasn't travelling in the early part down the back straight, just to encourage the 9-year-old to go forward. But he looked like he'd had enough. But the 4-year-old daughter of Toronado, Toro Chico, has run a great race in defeat. And
she has.
I'm sure a well-deserved pat down the neck, though, for Ulster. I'm sure we'll see him back here. And Miro Wise, he knows exactly what kind of horse to bring here. And he's proven that once again, winning one of our feature races this afternoon on our debutant.
He's a great character, Miro, and yeah, that's his third winner of the meeting now, of course, after that double last week, Hayley, as you mentioned earlier on.
Yeah, and unfortunately he came into the meeting for the Silver Challenge, the Trainer Trophy, on 20 points, just 2 clear of John Best, and now he's going to pick a few more here this afternoon.
Yeah, he's extended that lead, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Miro's walking with, if you see a gentleman with a grey moustache and a flat cap behind the horse, that's Miro Weiss.
They got away with quite a level break, Mike. That was one of the notable things. Everything was out on a bit of a par here, and then the nice thing was we had the long straight for the jockeys to get into a nice position, so there wasn't that hustle and bustle to that first turn with this mile and 1 start. And I thought Kieran O'Neill did everything right. Got Toro Chico to relax on the front end. She's enjoyed it. She's gone round there on nice relaxed rein, and unfortunately just got reeled in. But Ulster was such an unknown coming in here, and you were talking about the horse's form beforehand when Archie Watson trained, and he's not a bad sort, so that was a good bit of placing by the trainer.
It was indeed, Hayley, yeah, and well done to Clement Leroux, who's in his first year as Mr. Weiss's stable jockey. There he is, wearing a pair of blinkers. Son of Intello, as Hayley mentioned earlier on. Intello is a very good horse.
The other runner in the lineup, Meladino, that was the other horse having his first go on the white turf.
Yeah, he ran all right, didn't he? He's
yeah.
got flattened out a bit late, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Was up there for a while. Might be one to follow in the future.
Just goes to show that this was a good standard race. This horses with a lot of ability. Here's the start. Let's see. Yeah, they broke pretty well, didn't they? Toro Chico recovered after a slightly tardy start, but did well. Kieran was happy enough going out on the back straight. Great shots here from behind. You see what the kickback's like, which you would have had a flavour of when you were riding work, or riding exercise or whatever earlier this week.
I had one horse in front of me and I was shying away from it, let alone a wall of horses. It's painful. It is painful. Even skiing down some of the slopes, getting in people's kick back off the skis is enough to put me off. But we can join Martin Kelly.
Catch up with the winning owners very shortly. Indeed, that is Letitia Dominico owns Ulster, but our good friend Anina, who is integral to this meeting, was just telling me that she was part of the buying team of this horse, Ulster. Came from the Newmarket Horses in Training sale at the back end of last year. Started off life with Godolphin, with Syed bin Saror. Won a couple of races at Kempton around this time last year for Archie Watson, but was bought by Letitia with the help of Anina, put into training with the champion Swiss trainer, and has come on to win here today as one of the outsiders of the field as well. Ulster, a newcomer to the snow, was around 14-1 before the off, the complete outsider of the field, but shrewdly bought by connections from Archie Watson. This time last year winning at Kempton, today guys winning here on the snow at St Moritz.
Thanks, Martin. Yeah, what a price he was in retrospect. We should have guessed. I mean, Miro is such a shrewd cookie. he'd every right to go close on his form before. There's Clement. We'll have a chat with Miro Weiss in a moment too. That wasn't Miro Weiss, that was another connection. Miro's wearing a flat cap. Doesn't say a great deal, Miro. I got introduced to him last year, and he's one of those strong but silent types. But a real nice man. And in fact, he lent his car to somebody last week to pick us up from the airport. Kieran O'Neill and I, we arrived very late last weekend, which was very kind of him.
How long is the drive up, Mike?
Quite a long drive up, Hayley, actually, through the mountains. There's Miro on the right. The first bit was quick because it was all flat and motorway and stuff. Yeah. And the last bit, when you're zigzagging up the mountain, that wasn't great.
Did you get cars there?
I was stuck just towards the end. I was thinking, yeah, I'm glad I'm here now, you know. And because this guy was driving it and it wasn't his car, I think he was giving it some welly. So I hope that Miro doesn't know that.
Oh. I won't tell him. He looks quite, like you say, stern and serious man, but he's a good trainer, and he's had another success here on the white turf. 2 last weekend and 1 more today. So well done. Clement Leroux, the horse, nice ride. Looked absolutely thrilled as well.
By the way, Herr Christophe Jeanneret, the Longines brand manager for Switzerland. Hang on a second. Yes, he is. Christophe, that's him on the right of picture there, giving out the prizes for this Grand Prix Longines. Longines watches are rather special, aren't they? They really are. 1 minute 56.06 was the winning time of that last race, which is obviously sub 2 minutes for 9 furlongs. Is not bad going around here on the snow. So that was race number 4, and Miro Weiss just establishing a decent foothold on the leading trainer award for the week. A long way to go yet, of course, but in the next race he's got a horse called Holiday End and Hello Again, who's already won twice in the snow. So there's every chance that he could extend that lead after the 2 o'clock race here. Where John Best, I'm afraid, is not represented, but Kieran O'Neill has a ride for Florina Woolschläger on Daisy Bear.
Yes, 7-year-old is 4th just the other day. And she was 6th in the main white turf event a year ago, last Sunday. Wasn't a bad effort over 2 short. So hopefully we'll get some winning reaction then with Martin Kelly.
Yeah, just look at the connections here, collecting their Longines watches. Just wondering to myself as well, just how many of these lovely Longines watches that the winning trainer must have after his wins here last weekend and again this afternoon. We'll hopefully catch up with the winning owner in just a second. That is Letitia Dominique, just waiting for her to come down from the podium. So it's a lovely way they do the celebrations here, rather than people being taken off to a room somewhere else, to be allowed to stand up on the podium in front of everybody and enjoy a glass of champagne in the sunshine and reflect on that success with the crowd all around them as well. It is a rather special moment, I think, for anybody who manages to have a win here on the ice. Whether it's your first, second, or you're used to winning, I think any win here would be rather special. But our winning owner is just come down off the podium, champagne in hand, just putting the gloves back on. Let's catch up with Letitia. Letitia, many congratulations. That was a great win from your horse.
Yes, it was very, very great, amazing. I'm so happy, really. It's fantastic.
And what were expectations coming into the race today, first time onto the snow?
Oh, I had no expectation, really, nothing.
You're with
you never know what is.
But you're with a very shrewd trainer who can get a horse ready for this kind of event.
Miro is great. He is very good. No, it's fantastic. I'm happy.
And this is a horse that yourself and Anina bought from the Newmarket Horses and Trading Sales.
We went together to Newmarket with Miro and Anina, and in the end we saw this horse and we knew it's the right one. Yes.
And what was it about this grey horse when you saw him that made you think, I want him?
It's the feeling. It's coming from my heart. Yes, really.
And what was the feeling in your heart as he dashed up that inside rail, challenging to get John Best's horse?
Amazing. It's amazing.
And how many winners have you had here at St. Moritz over the years?
Oh, my heart is also here in St. Moritz and also in this great valley because my grandmother's from here. That's why I feel with everything here.
And is this a horse who you can hope can come back over the next few seasons? Given he's won here on his first start, you must be quite hopeful about his future.
Yeah, but we will see what will come. I don't know. Yes, of course. We hope the best.
Yeah. And just tell us a little bit about the trainer, obviously the champion here in Switzerland. What is it that makes Metre so good?
Oh, so my English is not so good to tell you everything, but...
But you're happy, that's the main thing.
Yes, I'm happy. That is, yeah, that's it. I'm very happy. Yes.
And do you have any more runners to come today?
Yes, I have a second horse in the last race, Amazing Rock.
Okay.
And then...
And a good chance, do you think?
Yes, I hope so, of course. Always, always.
We'll let you go off, enjoy the champagne, and hopefully...
Yes, thank you very much.
Hopefully more champagne to come a little bit later.
Okay, thank you.
So again, Mike and Hayley, delighted connections here in the winners' enclosure.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Amazing Rock running in the 2:30 race for Laetitia Dominique. But before that, we've got this mile race coming up, which is a contest of 6 runners. And we get underway with that one at 2 o'clock. Some great shots there, aren't they? Incredible mountain goats up the top of the landscape here, the very rugged landscape above the lake of St. Moritz. There's the Palace Hotel, where only the very, very rich can stay. And that's the other side. That's looking from down the back straight across towards the other side of the valley. A real mixture of architecture here. I have to say, hand on heart, there's 1 or 2 buildings here that I'm surprised to see, but you know, there's a real mixture of different eras represented by the bricks and mortar here. Some of them more appealing to the eye than others, no question about that. So the horses are in the parade ring for the 5th race, the 2 o'clock race. We're looking at Daisy Bear, who's trained now by the Swiss trainer Florina Wohlschläger, and Kieran O'Neill's got a rare outside ride here. 4th last week to Stradkirk and Torbolino. I think you can say that that was an 800-metre race, but both those 2 horses have run well today. And Daisy Bear, who was trained at one time by Carl Burke. Carl raced her quite a lot at one time, Daisy Bear. Here's the lineup. Hello again. Clément Leroux for the Miroslav Weiss team. Cloud and Lucas Delosier. Holiday and Tim Bergin, stable companion of number 1. And then we've got Daisy Bear and Kieran O'Neill, number 4. And then 2 horses in the Chevrolet stable. Richelieu, René Picheluk for Christian von der Recker, and Dennis Sheergan is on board Dancing Diamond, who will be last into the stalls here for this race. She's also owned by stable Chevrolet, but trained by Karen Suter-Weber, the Swiss trainer. So the home team have got a strong hand here. A couple of German runners. Cloud is trained by Yasmin Almarada, German-based at Yasmin, and of course Christian von der Recker, the trainer of Richelieu as well. So 4 Swifts versus 2 Germans in our penultimate race here on the white turf. The wind hasn't changed direction much. It's stayed pretty steady so far down the home straight here with the wind behind them. I suppose if anything, it's got up a little bit, but they're expecting the storm to come down through Europe over the next 24, 36 hours or so. The storm at the moment is battering the British Isles, we understand. Not entirely sure whether any of us will be able to get home today. We can get down to the airport all right, but getting out anywhere else might just be a little bit of an issue. So there's an idea of the marquees and things that they've got here. Now I believe that 1 or 2 of them, the marquees last week, because it was so warm, 1 or 2 of them got a little bit flooded, and they've taken some action, some very thoughtful actions of lifting up the marquees off the surface of the ice and putting a wooden platform underneath 1 or 2 of them, not the bigger ones obviously, because that would have been virtually impossible, but they have been taking some remedial action. won't be necessary now for the rest of the meeting, because there's going to be another cold week in prospect with plenty of snow from the middle of the week, breaking into bright sunshine and cold temperatures again in a week's time. Look at this. This is fantastic, isn't it? That little thing on board a very, very docile pony. And she's loving every second of that. A lot of families here today. And Hayley J. Moore, not only is she a fantastic presenter and a great colleague, she's brought me a little sweet snack as well, which is great.
We need to keep the...
But nothing for Tim,
No,
our
I did.
director. Oh, yes, you did.
Oh, don't you worry.
Well done.
I know where my bread is buttered. Is that the expression?
Yeah, well done, you.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, it's a bit of a hike up the steps to come and join you. I think I'm enjoying the air.
It is, unless it's thin up here.
Yeah.
Even if you walk quickly for a few meters.
When we go down, we're going to feel great tomorrow, aren't we? All that.
Well, if we get home.
Yeah, I'm off to France. I'll be fine.
Are you off to France?
Yeah, off to France for some filming. So.
Are you? Where are you going to go and see?
Yeah, I'm going to go down to Manuel Cleo's yard and find out where all these Cheltenham superstars derive from.
What, the cross-country stars, yeah?
Yeah, well.
Has he got a few coming over?
Anyone really?
Yeah.
Sort of where like the Horse Like album photo all started out and where they were sourced from.
Did he start at Emmanuel album photo? Did he?
I'm not sure if he did.
Yeah, no, he could. Yeah, could have done. Right,
he actually
Hayley.
fell on his first run.
Amazing, isn't it? 6 runners here, Martin, and I wouldn't know who favourite was, but I'm guessing it might be Daisy Bear. What do you think?
Well, if you're fancying Daisy Bear, Mike, around 7-2. Not favourite, though, not by any means. This is a really congested market. There's a clear favourite behind that, though. It's very, very congested. The market leader is, in fact, number 6, Dancing Diamond, who was a winner here on the ice back in 2018. Dennis Shogun taking the ride here for Karen Suter-Weber. So Dancing Diamond, the market leader, currently around the 11-8 mark for number 6. Second favourite at 9-4, that's number 1, Hello Again, who has been off the track for a bit of time before coming back with some good runs through last year. First start up this season, though, and Hello Again has had 4 starts on the ice for 2 wins, a second and a fourth as well. So very lightly raced on this surface, but does extremely well. Third favourite then at around the 7-2 mark is number 2. This is Cloud, who comes here for Lucas Delisier. We then have a similar price, 7-2, for number 4, Daisy Bear, who of course was 6 in the Grand Prix last season. Kieran O'Neill takes the ride. That horse paying £4.90 on the local tote. And the 2 outsiders of the field, if you can call them that, given they're still a relatively short price. We've got number 3, Holiday End, who was a sprint winner on the ice a couple of seasons back. That horse trading at around 5-1. And 6-1, the outsider of the field, that is number 5, Richelieu, for Christian von der Eck, a horse who was 7th here in Category E racing last week, moves up to Category D today. So a very, very tight market. The only one the market's not liking really is the German Raider, Richelieu, but the other 5 horses all strongly fancied. And it's 6-4 now, 6-4 the market leader, number 6, Dancing Diamond.
Thank you very much, Martin. Dancing Diamond, a winner here before, and she will be on the, she'll be last into the stalls. That's the idea behind her. That's what usually happens with her. Karen Suter-Weber is the trainer, another Swiss trainer with runners at this local big meeting. So runners parading. So far, it's been an interesting day. This Skjoring race was a bit longer than I thought it was going to be. That was a bit of a sobering experience, but full of admiration for those guys earlier. I'm sure you were as well, those that watched with us. And we're finishing off here with 2 flat races. This one is over 1,600 metres, and then we got one at 2:30 local time, which is over 1,800 metres, 9 furlongs. This race is the Grand Prix Sport Mind and Friends. Stable Chevrolet have got 2 in this race, Richelieu and Dancing Diamond. Richelieu was completely outpaced last week over 800 metres. This will be much more up his street. What do you think, Hayley?
Yeah, this is a horse that I think will definitely build on what we saw from last time out for Christian von der Recker stable. Son of Lilburn lad, has got some good place form back home. A new horse, an unexposed horse to the white turf, and I do think that this trip up to 1,600 metres, so double the distance from what we had to contend with last week, will be a lot more to this horse's liking. So I think René Peschelek will have a nice spin around here on the turf. The good thing was during the week the horses were able to come and use the track in its full distance up the home straight and down the back straight, which is what we were lacking last weekend when conditions weren't quite right. So I think that he'll be able to build on what we saw last time out. Quite a small field, just the 6 going to post, and the owner Stall, as you were saying, Stall Chevrolet well represented here as well. Miro Wise also with 2 runners in the lineup. Hello Again and Holiday End.
Hello.
2 horses that haven't shown too much so far, and another completely unexposed one with Hello Again. So we're going to learn a lot, but I suppose it's that situation similar to what we had earlier on with Miro Wise. Hello Again, as he brought out another horse that's going to appreciate these conditions. Is this horse going to like the white turf? So time will tell. Bit of a guessing game, but I don't think he's going to have many 14-to-1 horses being sent off at that price again, Mike, because he's proven to be pretty good here, hasn't he?
He's an extraordinary trainer. Right, Martin, what's happening?
Okay. Sorry, we've got to get hold of Christian von der Reck. He's dashed away. He wants to go and see his horses out on the track, actually, so he'll speak to us ahead of the next one. But interesting, Mike and Hayley, this Stall Chevrolet has got 2 in the race, and they're the colours of a gentleman who's been knocking around on the track on a morning, who's a huge racing fan. He's been here watching the horses work. He's got a flat here in St. Moritz, and also lives down in Zurich as well. But Christian obviously concerned about this. Richelieu wants to see him out on the track and heading to post safely. So we'll hopefully catch you with Christian a little bit later ahead of this race, or if not before our final race.
Thanks, Martin. Yeah, there's Richelieu, Christian's runner. The only difference, really, is that the checks on his cap are bigger than the checks on Dancing Diamond's cap. Is that right, Hayley? Did you pick that up?
Yeah, I think I'd agree with you. It's not going to make your life easy by any means.
It's not fair, is it?
I do not admire commentators at all. Never a straightforward afternoon. But we'll have a good look at them going down to post, and we'll try and spot exactly who's who and what's what. I
can see Christian von der Recker. He's got a fantastic pair of red pair of trousers on.
He's a fascinating man.
Very much in the Nicky Henderson sort of league of trousers.
We were skiing together yesterday, Mike, and a young lady took him out, skied flat into him.
Knocked into him?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet he wasn't happy about that.
No, he'd been skiing brilliant the last 3 days. He's pretty fast going down the slopes, and this very young lady in a little pink outfit.
Was that her way of trying to get to know the great man?
Yeah, maybe. Throw herself into him. Wiped him out completely. He brushed himself off, though. He's a tough fella.
Well, Hello Again is leading them out here and is cantering down. 2 wins on the snow in his career so far, Hello Again. Trained by Miro Weiss. Showing quite a rounded action, actually, going down to the start for Clément Leroux. Second favourite, though, behind Dancing Diamond. Last we heard from Martin. Hello Again. And cantering down next. There's Daisy Bear, black and white hoops of Kieran O'Neill, wearing black cheek pieces. 6 is Dancing Diamond. There's the favourite cantering down there in the hands of Dennis Sheargan. She's still a warm order, Martin, Dancing Diamond.
She's indeed, yeah, still around the 6-4 mark at the head of the market. So 6-4 still for Dancing Diamond. A little bit of money around, though, for this Hello Again, who's been so consistent on the snow, closing in now to near 2-1 for Hello Again. It's at 11-4 for Clouds. And then we get out to 4-1 now. 4-1 for number 4, just being clipped a little bit. Daisy Bear, Kieran Eelsmount just coming in the market. 9-2 for number 3. That is Holiday End, and 7-1 the outsider, Richelieu. Not quite as busy in the betting tent for this one. The previous race was certainly proving very popular, but just interesting some of the people you meet walking around here today. Just chatting to a guy who is a British guy, travelled over just this morning to come here to St Moritz and experience the white turf. He's ticked off all the UK race courses, been to many of the big events around the world, but this was one that he wanted to come to, and he's been blown away by the experience, which is it's good to hear people coming here, and certainly the experience exceeding their expectations. But just going back to that incident, Hayley, yesterday, poor Christian getting wiped out on the slopes. The lady in the pink outfit's left a mark. He's got some quite nasty cuts down the side of his face, so it must have been quite an impact she's created.
Yeah, he got up, he carried on. He didn't mind at all. But yeah, it was quite.
Oh, I bet he did. That would be nice. It's horrible when you bash into someone on the slopes. It's so embarrassing,
he hadn't
isn't
fallen over all 48 hours of skiing, and then bang, on the last run down, he gets wiped out. Got to keep your wits about you on these slopes. But no, he's a tough man. And
were the slopes busy yesterday, Hayley?
They were, yeah. They've been pretty quiet all week. The start of the week was an absolute wipeout, quite literally. It was far too windy, stormy, yeah. And it was, you could barely see anything. And then, thankfully, conditions made it better down here on the track. The track actually looked like it was starting to melt. You had no snow down here on the race course. And then we had this absolute downpour, and that meant that we had loads of snow. It got cold, and it made the conditions much better for today's racing, and also meant that we could use the full circumference of the track. So it then improved a lot, although on Wednesday you couldn't really get anywhere. All the lifts were shut just because of risk of avalanches. They were letting off snow cannons everywhere to prevent, obviously, people being caught up in an avalanche. And then open the slopes again Thursday, Friday and Saturday for some wonderful skiing conditions. So fresh powder everywhere.
I must admit, coming here yesterday, there was massive crowds coming up from Zurich up into the mountains, not just here to St Moritz, the other ski resorts as well. There's Davos is not a million miles away, close to all those sort of places.
Much busier yesterday with the people descending on St Moritz for the weekend. It's not a bad weekend spot.
So Dancing Diamond favourite, and the subtle difference in their colours is that the check is larger on the cap of René Pichelec's cap on Richelieu than it is on Dennis Sheergan's cap on Dancing Diamond. There's Cloud going forward, the grey. Looks as though they're about to start loading pretty soon. Holiday End, one here in 2017. Daisy Bear in the centre of the picture. So Kieran O'Neill's had a little bit of a disappointing day so far. He's not done yet by any means, because he's still got a ride in the last with a decent chance. Horse called Torbolino, filly trained by John Best.
He's still racked up some points in the
Silver
Jockey Trophy, which at the moment, the start of the day, he was leading by quite a distance, 18 points over Clement Leroux, who had 11. So I think it's 8 for a victory, 5 for a second. So he's picked up some fourth as well, and 3-2-1. So yeah, he's had a few points collected today. Another meeting still to come, and the decision to come here over Southall today has paid off, with Storm Ciara causing all sorts of havoc back in the UK for him. So
yeah, we understand it's not great back home. In fact, all flights coming into the UK are being cancelled at the moment, Hayley. Do you know that?
Yeah, no, it's not ideal. Lucas Delusier is just trying to keep Cloud calm, the 11-year-old son of Soldier Hollow. He's just been getting a bit on his toes of late, and quite consistent recently. And as the loading up process does begin, Dennis Sheergan on board Dancing Diamond, one of the 2 fillies in the lineup here. Good jockey on board here. And that was a horse that won here 2 years ago by a very narrow distance. So we know that Dancing Diamond can act on the white turf. The son of Arcano, 8 years old for Karen Wieba, 57.5 kilos. So a lot less to carry today from stall 3. Chavelot colours. He's doubly represented as well.
Just keep an eye on these then as they load up. Just there's the favourite, Dancing Diamond. She's set to go into stall number 3 for Dennis Sheargan. Daisy Bear's not in yet either. Daisy Bear ran in the 800-metre race at Stradkirk, and Torbolino were first and second in last week. Kieran was actually on Torbolino in that race, of course. And Stradkirk ran a decent race earlier on today. Back over a more appropriate trip for him. She's just needing a little bit of encouragement, this mare. 7 years old. Started life off with Carl Burke up in North Yorkshire. I think the others are all in. I don't know whether we can get a shot of the stalls, but if you're on the favourite Dancing Diamond, she's coming out of stall number 3. Daisy Bear is trying to go into stall 6 here. Trip is a mile this time, 1,600 metres. Blindfold to help. The Grand Prix Sport Mind and Friends. Sport Mind do sporting events here in Switzerland. They sponsor and market events. In the background, Dancing Diamond's not in yet either, so of course she's the last to go into the stalls, Dancing Diamond. That's permission from the stewards, etc. So once they got Daisy Bear in, they can put in the favourite. Daisy Bear is in, blindfold off, so relief for Kieran O'Neill. And now forget the numbers, by the way. They absolutely no relevance to where they're meant to be drawn, as long as they're in the right order. So Dancing Diamond will be drawn in the middle of them, really. She's set to go into stall number 3. Here she comes. Dancing Diamond. There she is. She's in. Blindfold comes off. And they are ready to go, and away they go. And Dancing Diamond got a good start as well. Not quite as good as Hello Again, but racing alongside, in fact, Hello Again in the early stages. The grey on the inside there is Cloud. So Hello Again, Dancing Diamond, Cloud. Just behind them then Richelieu, just being urged along. Is followed then by Holiday End, and on the outside Daisy Bear is in touch for Kieran O'Neill, taking a bit of a hold. She moves into second place. So Dancing Diamond and Hello Again disputing the lead as they go to their first turn, with Daisy Bear racing wider, keeping out of the kickback there. A little bit wider perhaps than Kieran would have wanted, just lost a length or so there on that turn. On the inside they're travelling pretty strongly. Alongside her is Richelieu, and as they head down the back straight, Cloud, the grey, at the back of the field, with Holiday End in the hands of Tim Bergen. These two having a real go at the head of affairs here. Hello Again and Dancing Diamond. They're taking each other on from a long way out. They're racing towards the end of the back straight. They're about 4 lengths clear now over Daisy Bear in third. Will be getting quite a bit of that kickback as they begin to prepare to leave the back straight. Got about just under 2 furlongs left to run now, and they haven't given way at all, these two. And Hello Again is beginning to fend off Dancing Diamond. From the back of the field, moving into third place, is the grey Cloud, who's got 2 or 3 legs to make up. Don't rule him out by any stretch of the imagination as they straighten up for home here. And it's Hello Again who leads the field, but Cloud is storming home on the outside. The 11-year-old grey Cloud is coming through here under a great ride from Lucas Delosier, and goes on to take it. Cloud as well, the 11-year-old, wins really nicely too, beats Hello Again into second. And then back in third was Holiday End, the early pace setters. paid for it, really. They were racing at each other a long, long way out here, and Cloud, who was patiently ridden by Lucas Delosier, has come home to win it in the colours of the Gestut Weiherweisen and trained by Jasmin Almenrader in Germany. So another victory for Germany here at the white turf in St. Moritz, as Cloud, the oldest runner in the lineup, comes home to win in really good style.
Yeah, that was lovely. The 11-year-old as well by Soldier Hollow has managed to build on a couple of good place efforts just recently. Lucas Delosier giving this horse a lovely ride. He was out the back most of the way, especially when we pick up the replay here. Sat fourth, didn't look like he was going to get into contention because the front two were cutting out the running, went pretty hard on and looked as though they had the race sewn up, but they got tired in the end. Dancing Diamond not able to sustain that gallop, but Hello Again putting in a good show as well. But this horse has picked up very well. He got quite anxious beforehand. He was playing up before the start, but he's been given a lovely ride into the home straight, pulled off the rail, taken out wide to avoid any kickback, any interference, and he's come away pretty nicely in the end. So the grey on the white turf has absolutely romped home here. A horse that's got some good placed efforts in the form book as well, and has managed to go 2 places better than last time out. It was a good finish and quite a changing complexion, Mike. I thought that the front two had kicked on. I thought they were going to be battling it out between them, but
Hello Again ran well, considering he was having a right old battle with Dancing Diamond throughout most of the race.
Yeah.
Sees her off, and then this grey comes storming home on the outside early, as you said, and he wins extremely well indeed. Cloud came from the clouds to win this one. The grey horse striking in the hands of Lucas Delosier. And lovely when these old horses manage to keep on going like this, isn't it? He's a real veteran, Cloud. Soldier Hollow, goodness me, a long time ago he raced. Here's the start again, the replay. He couldn't really complain with the Dancing Diamond broke well enough, but Hello Again and Dancing Diamond had a great old battle from some way out. Cloud very patiently ridden. You can see him on the rail there in the early part of the race. By the time they turned into the straight, he was making up the ground, and it was an irresistible run down the home run here for this old horse, who comes home to win in the beautiful sunshine at St. Moritz. Wins the 5th race of the afternoon, the 2 o'clock race, for trainer Jasmin Almenrader. Coming back into the winners' enclosure now. I think Haley's popping down to have a chat with some of the winning connections here. Is one of the outsiders. No, was he his 3rd or 4th favourite here, Cloud? It was a tricky race, this one. They all had a chance of sorts. Poor old Daisy Bear didn't handle that first bend particularly well, and went wide and never got back into it. Tried hard down the back, but it was a spent force by the time they turned down towards the home straight.
There was late money for Cloud, actually, Mike.
Was there?
Yeah, he was sort of 6 to 1, and in the sort of few minutes preceding the race, he was cut into around 4 to 1, I think 3rd favourite in the end. It was tight to the market and behind the market leader, Dancing Diamond, but certainly Cloud wasn't unsupported for his first start here in Switzerland, and he's managed to do the job nicely, coming home strongly. Haley will hopefully catch up with winning connections very shortly, but a nice performance from a horse who's in his veteran stage, having his first start on the ice, Mike. That was quite an impressive performance.
Yeah, it was good to see him. Good old horses like this who stay sound, and they're like friends and pets at home, aren't they? And I don't doubt he's absolutely doted upon. Great rug, isn't it, in the stable colours?
Yeah, lovely. And another grey horse winning today as well.
Yeah, they've done well today.
They've done the greys, yeah. If you're following the greys at home, you've done exceptionally well this afternoon.
I'm just trying to get the details of the man who's going to be doing the presentations here for this 5th race, the Grand Prix Sport Mind and Friends. And I can tell you, Martin,
go on,
that it is Herr René Schuriger.
Herr René Schuriger.
Schnuriger. Sorry, missed out the N. Herr René Schnuriger. And he's I guess he's the chief exec of that particular sponsor. He's the guest Schaftsführer. So that sounds important to me. Oh, I wish I could speak a bit of German, but did you ever take that at school, Martin?
No, I did a bit of French, and that didn't really sort of sinking too well. But I can manage in France here.
Yeah.
The language is just so different; it's hard to even guess. Sometimes you can have a sort of lead in with a bit of Italian or Spanish as to what people are talking about.
Well, the taxi driver turned up last night and greeted us with Buenos Aires, didn't he?
He did.
He did. It's all very confusing here in this multilingual country.
I even thought I'm going to learn good evening, so throw in a guten Abend when you go into a bar or a restaurant, then you get sort of bonjour back.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Here's Bert, who's doing a great job here as our master of ceremonies. Not quite the Derek Thompson of Switzerland, but you get the sort of idea. Speaks perfect English. He's holding it together very, very well. So just one more to come then. One more chance for Mr. White Turf, as we know him, John Best, to strike on this second Sunday of the White Turf.
I think that the whole team now will be a little bit disappointed by the way the proceedings have worked out. I think they're expected to get at least one winner on the board today, and it's not quite happened, has it?
No, it hasn't. I mean, Tormolino might just have a chance at the last, but it's a tricky race, isn't it? I was having a look at that last night.
But she did run well here last week.
She
did.
did.
Debut, holds a few of those on that bit of form.
Yeah, over that sprint trip. The weighing room here, by the way, right behind those boards you can see in your picture, is a little tent, little marquee, and all it is basically is a weighing room. They've got a few wooden benches in there where you can sit down and get changed, and there's a little very basic scales, isn't there?
Yeah, very basic. It almost looks like it's akin to a sort of point-to-point changing room, really.
It is. I mean, this is what it's been described as such before, isn't it? It's point-to-point with furs, isn't it? This, it really is.
A lot more glamorous than your local point-to-point, though.
I'd venture to suggest that there wouldn't be much between it. There's a lot of rich farmers in the UK. Certainly a lot of rich people here this afternoon, Martin, that's for sure.
Some very nice outfits and some very, very nice fur coats knocking around. And one thing I've noticed today, Mike, especially, is the family element to today. Lots of families here, lots of kids enjoying the racing, and lots of dogs as well.
Yeah, the locals love to take their dogs for a walk on the frozen lake, don't they?
I'd say quite angry dogs as well. There's been quite a few dogs wanting to have a go at their passers-by, but a real...
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. And one dog as well took exception to the horses heading out onto the track. But certainly a great atmosphere down there today.
So, Cloud's Connections on Cloud 9 after winning the 2 o'clock. We're going to get the reviews of the winning owner pretty shortly. Haley's down there chasing them down. And we'll hear from them very, very soon as the bouquets are presented. Beautiful bouquets as well, they are.
It's hard to believe we're getting around to our final race today. The afternoon has flown by.
It has.
And really quickly.
It really has.
But I think for me, Mike, I've been looking forward to seeing the skewering, and to actually see it in person, I thought it was just fantastic. And Adrian von Gunten as well was so
he was great, wasn't he?
electric afterwards. He was brilliant.
He was completely made up, yeah. It was a special day for him.
And how nice that mare that he rode to 3 consecutive victories here over 3 years is now living in the valley.
Do you know what? I missed that part. Is that what he said?
Yeah. So he won the race 3 years in a row for Peter Schergen on a mare. He was now retired, but they've retired her to the valley, and she lives just a few miles here from the racecourse here. I said, have you seen her recently? He said, yeah. I said, I popped it yesterday to give her a pat.
Fantastic.
Mombasa was the horse's name.
So Zambizo is Mombasa's heir apparent.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah. I can tell you, by the way, that the temperature here at St. Moritz has just risen to 1 above freezing. So, and that won't last. It's going to be dipping below freezing again very, very soon here. I can see Haley.
Yeah. Yeah, the winning rider, Lucas Delusier, alongside me. Lucas, congratulations. You look like you wouldn't win the race, and the horse finished very well. It was a good finish in the end.
Yes, of course. You know, he have 11 years. He's a very good horse. Before he wins so many races, now he need good for the cup. And today, the snow, first time snow. He like this, and he win easy.
Yeah. Did you think in the race that you had no chance halfway? Did you think you would win?
Yeah, of course. I think, for me, he's a one listed horse, but now he has 11 years, he's old. He needs the best sister. She needs to enjoy with him for the St. Moritz, for Switzerland. But I think, yes, next time I think he win again. Yeah. For a moment, yes.
Brilliant. And you yourself, you're doing well in the Jockeys Championship here for the Silver Trophy. Would you like to try and win it overall?
Yeah, of course, that is nice. That is nice.
Where are you from?
Germany.
From Germany, whereabouts?
I'm from Zurich, but now I am staying in Germany.
Oh, brilliant. And who do you ride out for and who do you race with in Germany?
From Peter Schirgen.
Ah, very good trainer.
Yeah, he's a nice trainer. He's more easy.
Yeah. Well, congratulations here and good luck later on for the other races.
Thank you.
Many thanks then to the winning trainer, Lucas Luzier, and the winning owner as well. Congratulations. How proud are you of Cloud after that performance?
I'm so proud. 11 years old and first time on snow. I mean, he just wants to be a racehorse. Everybody says, he's old. I say, yeah, but he wants to be a racehorse. What should I do? I let him.
Yeah. Keep racing. When you were watching the race, did you think he was going to come through and win?
No, I thought, okay, no. It's not his ground and he's too far behind. And then the jockey just said to me, he also thought he has no gas. But then around the last corner, he thought, I hadn't to do anything. He flew.
Yeah. The rider gave him a very confident ride. He's a nice jockey.
Yes. He rode him before once or twice, but he didn't think actually that he would be making it so easy. So we are very happy.
Yeah, you made a good decision to come to the White Turf meeting.
Yes. Yeah. And the next race, I have a 13-year-old.
Yeah, Runaway, a horse that has had success here before.
Yeah, he was running last year, this race. But today, the ground is too hard for him. He needs soft ground. Yeah. But, okay, it will be his last race. Yeah. Then he retires.
Oh, really? Oh, how lovely. And you yourself, you breed horses?
Yes, I breed in Germany on the lake of Constance. Yeah, and I mostly go to France to take French stallions. And I bring them up. They're born in my stable, and so they're like my children.
Of course. So you must be very proud to have a winner here today.
Yes, I'm very proud. It makes my day.
Absolutely. Well, we're really pleased for you. Congratulations and thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's wonderful to see the result there for Via Wiesen Gestut stable and talking to Yasmin. Hopefully they'll have one more victory still to come. You never know, Mike, in the lucky last on the horse at Runaway final outing this afternoon.
And won the race last year, of course, Hayley, which is, great seeing these old veterans. Runaway won the race 12 months ago. So we're just running a little bit behind schedule here because of the delay earlier on to one of our races when, ironically, it was El Mejor had to be re-shod down at the start. But the runners for the last race are walking around the parade ring. And don't forget to join us next week again for the final day of the White Turf meeting of 2020, when we'll be bringing you coverage of the Grand Prix, or the Grosser Preis as they call it here in this area of Switzerland. See Journey Flash's jockey going forward there, Clément Leroux. Monceau, beautifully bred, by the way. He was number 4. He was a throwout from Khaled Abdullah. He's by Dan Silly, out of a mare who is a full sister to Showcasing. Doesn't get much better than that, does it? And therefore also half sister to Camacho. Both successful stallions. Here we go then. Tim Bergen is on Amazing Rock, number 1. Fleur d'Ipanema, Naomi Heller. 3 is Journey Flash, Clément Leroux. Monceau and René Pichelec. Runaway, Astrid Wulschläger. René Storm for Dennis Schiergen. Wiehergold for Karina Schneider, Swan Lake and Nadia Berger, and Torbellino and Kieran O'Neill with Billy Fly and Jenny Langard. who takes off £3. In fact, there are several claimers in this race. I should have pointed that out. Naomi Hello, who rides Fleur d'Ipanema, who finished third in the race last year, by the way. She takes off 2 kilograms. She's an amateur rider, Naomi. Astrid Wohlschläger, who rides Runaway, the veteran, takes off 1 kilogram, that's i.e. £2. Karina Schneider, 3 kilograms, that's £6. Nadia Berger, 2 kilograms, £4. And the amateur Jenny Langhard takes off 3 kilos, which is obviously £6 as well, taking a kilo to equal roughly £2, just a touch more, isn't it, but not much. So the course has been kept in grand shape as they keep the surface nice and safe. Horse is getting a good grip on that surface as they parade then for the final race of the day. Billy Fly, the grey there, he was last week, didn't really enjoy sprinting. Might find this 1800 metre trip a little bit more to his liking today. He's trained by Josef Stadelman. Same colours as Fleur d'Ipanema. They'll be the jockeys will be getting mounted now. The bell has just rung, Martin Kelly.
It has indeed, Michael. I tell you what, the betting shop, which was a little bit quiet for the previous race, is absolutely rammed. Everyone looking to go home on a winner, I guess, with a lucky last, and the weight of expectation falls aboard Torbolino's shoulders for Kieran O'Neill and John Best. Torbolino, she is favourite, currently 7-4, and rock solid at the top of the market. So Torbolino, who was second here last week, with a whole host of today's rivals in behind. Rennie Storm was back in third place, Amazing Rock in fifth, and a few others in behind as well. So Torbolino at the top of the market. Second best in, well, you've got to go out to 5-1 to find the next runner, and that is horse number 3, Journey Flash, for Clement Leroux, looking for another winner here this afternoon. This horse first up in 2020 and coming onto the snow for the first time today, but Mario Weiss, we've seen the Swiss maestro, no barrier to success in bringing horses onto the snow for the first time and then winning first time up. So Journey Flash is the second best in the market, currently at around the 9-2 mark. It's 5-1 for number 5, Runaway, winner of this race 12 months ago. Runaway trading at 5-1. Just above 5-1, it's 11-2 for number 6, that is Rennie Storm, with Dennis Shergood on board, a horse who was third here just last week, in behind Torbolino. So the third in from that race, Rennie Storm, currently trading at around 5-1 or 11-2. 11-2 also for number 5. So numbers 5 and 6, Rennie Storm and Runaway, around the same sort of price. 6-1 for number 2, Fleur d'Ipanema, who was third in this race last year, 9th on the only run so far this season. That was in behind a few of today's rivals. 8-1 for Amazing Rock, who was 5th here last week, and the outsiders of the field. Well, number 7, Wahi Gold, who was 8th here last week. That horse currently at 12-1. 16-1 for number 8, Swan Lake, under Nadia Berger. And then the other one trading at quite a big price at 10-1 is number 10, that is Billy Fly. And he's an interesting horse. He'd been off the track since late 2017, came back here with a 10th place finish last week, and you could expect Billy Fly, who'd been off the track for over 2 years, maybe strip a little bit fitter here on his second run back. But Torbolino is the market leader, and Hayley, let's get more on Torbolino's chances.
Yeah, thank you. We're just watching Torbolino leave out quite on its toes, and obviously Kieran O'Neill looking to get another winner on the board after Torchica ran well earlier on. Good luck to Mark Curtis and all the connections with the White Turf Racing UK. Nice to see them go home with a winner. John, just a quick chat. Torbolino here, quite usual. She's on her toes, quite lively.
Yeah, so I don't think it's a good sign really to be that much on her toes. She's really buzzed up for this, and I would rather her be a lot more relaxed. She's not been like that in training. She's been absolutely fine, but it's really not ideal. You want to be coming here with a really good head. I mean, El Major was absolutely perfect and was staying on strongly, didn't quite get there, but yeah, I don't like it when they're this this keen, really.
No, I think that's understandable. It's such a big excitement. There's so much build-up as well.
Yeah. I mean, there is a proper buzz round here, as you know, and so just do with a relaxing. Hopefully, Kieran said he'll just try and slot her into the kickback for a little bit, just to back her off of it a bit. And I think you can use that to your advantage if you need to, because if you run her in, if she is a little bit keen, just pop her in the kickback. She's going to back off it a little bit, and then hopefully that'll give us a chance come the business end of the race.
Yeah, of course. And just a bit of reflection, Chica, she ran a huge race for you earlier.
Yeah, I mean, she's the only horse I've seen trip. She tripped just coming into this first bend. Yeah, she tripped badly, and but she ran an absolute cracker. She'll go for the Grand Prix next week. A little bit frustrating because turning in, I thought we had it, but this straight takes a lot more getting than people think. I think when you turn to the straight, you think, oh, well, we've got this, and they can just close you down, as happened in the race after as well, when Cloud came through and caught what looked like a certainty turning in, Mero's horse. Yeah, it does take a bit of getting, but hopefully we can make amends for our failures so far today.
They've not been failures. You've come up close, but they've still run with great credit. So best of luck, Kit.
Thanks, Hayley.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time. So John Best then, fingers crossed, with Torbolino in our last here to send the white turf racing home with a winner.
Thank you. It's great, honest stuff there from John, as always. Interesting to say that you could use that kickback to his advantage here to try and get Torbolino just to switch off a little bit. She was very buzzy going down to the start there just a few moments ago. It may just be one of those days for poor John and the white turf racing team. Martin?
And I think they'll be disappointed. I know they've had a couple of horses run well and hit the frame, but John was saying this, traditionally, of the 3 Sundays that we race here, is the weakest of the Sundays. And he said if we can't go out and be competitive and dominant on the second Sunday, well, they'll probably struggle on the third Sunday as well. But interesting, that was the mare that he chased out onto the track last year as well. Last week, I should say, when we went to interview him. He actually followed her out onto the track and made sure she headed off down to post nice and quiet. But that's been really refreshing from John, and fair play to him. Every time we've spoken to him throughout the course of the week so far, he's been really honest about the chances of his horses and how they've been taking the experience and what it's expecting as well.
Yeah, he's always a pleasure to chat to. There's Billy Fly. Now, the stable fours Agricola, who also own Fleur d'Ipanema, got these 2 colours in here, black with the yellow sleeves, red cap. Well, Billy Fly is obviously a grey, and Fleur d'Ipanema, who was 3rd last year, isn't. Wouldn't it be good to see Runaway go out on a win, Martin? I think, did you say it was going to be his last race, or was that Hayley's interview?
That must have been Hayley's interview, I think. Yeah.
Runaway's last race, Hayley? She's ecology? Yes, it is. Won it last year. Can he go and win it again? 13 years young now.
And Billy Fly as well, Mike. Fair play to connections of that horse. Off the track since the back end of 2017 until a run last week. They've got the patience of angels.
Yes, they have. Yeah, absolutely. There's Viha Gold. Karina Schneider, who takes off £6, also trains this Viha Gold as well.
Talking of angels,
oh, yes.
El Paradiso Bar up here in San Moritz, one of the most iconic places to go. Absolutely stunning. It is paradise. The motto there is where devils meet their angels. That's why I had to leave, basically.
Oh, you went, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
To look from a distance.
She was the only one on the whole team I could afford to go drinking and eating.
Yeah,
I can believe it. I can believe it. Yeah. There are some lovely bars here, actually, in the town, as you'd expect. We're up at the Sky Bar at the Hotel Metropole. No, Monopole yesterday, wasn't it? And that was rather good. It's spectacular at night time. The night sky here, when there's no cloud around, is absolutely so clear.
Yeah, the whole mountains were illuminated last night.
It was brilliant. Yeah, it's fabulous, isn't it? And I always feel sorry for the peace bashers up on the hill. You see the odd light moving up and down in the black darkness. Anyway, that's Monceau, Martin. We were just talking about this fella last week. Used to be trained by Pascal Barry for Khalid Abdullah. His dam is a sister to Showcasing.
That's right, yeah, very well-bred individual. Quite likely raced over in France. He had a couple of goes for Pascal Barry and has now joined Kristen van der Reck. It's not another one who's not enjoyed the best of afternoons, really. Bahama Moon and Box Office.
Yeah, you're
both
right.
had the money a little bit earlier on and got his horse in the
beaten
previous
up on
race
the
as well.
slopes yesterday as well. It's not been his
Yeah.
week, is it?
Well, I think Christian, he was saying during the week, he said if the two horses are running the skewering run disappointingly, he knows who to blame. That his work rider.
Miss Haley J. Moore.
That's the same. No, well, that's only what the trainer was saying.
He's a character.
He is. And as you commented as well, those trousers are very fitting of any Cotswold gentleman.
Well, absolutely. Any Cotswold racehorse trainer would have been proud of those, I tell you.
Well, he did say he's got to give them back to Charlie Mann later this week.
I was going to say Charlie and Mickey Henderson would have been jealous, wouldn't they? Won't be long before they start loading them up. Journey Flash, one of Miro's horses here, with Amazing Rock. But Clement Leroux has decided to ride Journey Flash, who's on the snow for the first time today. Don't let that put you off, though. It doesn't seem to affect any of Miro's horses. Quite know why there's a slight delay here, but looks like they're loading them. Here we go. They're loading the stalls.
And to show we can't really, given Muro doesn't speak English, it'd be interesting to know from him what he sees in horses that he thinks got to be suitable to come here, because a lot of the trainers think you want to have a horse who's been here and experienced the snow before they can win, whereas he seems very adept at readying them first time up on the snow and getting them to win first time out.
He speaks a little English, doesn't he? But he's very reticent, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's. Do you know he comes from the Czech Republic originally?
Does he really?
Yeah, he landed here many years ago. Interesting life, I suspect he's led.
Well, somebody described him.
There he is. We're looking at him through.
Well, yes, it's just over our
chatting to Anina.
Our box at the moment. But somebody said he maybe doesn't look particularly happy, but on the inside he's very happy. That's how somebody described it before.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, you wouldn't be a laugh a minute, man. But there's something really admirable about him, I think.
Yes.
Looking at Journey Flash, his runner here. That's him in the Stradkirk colours.
First time up on the snow today for Journey Flash.
That's right. Amazing
Horses.
Rock in the blinkers.
And 12 starts here in Switzerland, has managed to win, and ultra consistent over those 12 starts, a win in 10 places as well.
Now Swan Lake is walking forward. It's a well-named horse for this particular venue. And Nadia Berger taking off 2 kilos. Swan Lake outpaced over 800 meters last week. Didn't run that badly, to be fair. There's Runaway, green with a red chevron if you fancy him to win. The old boy to win it again on his last start of his entire career. And they're just about to load them into the gates. So they go past us and then complete a circuit. The circuit here, we're working it out, it's just under 5 furlongs, we reckon. It's a pretty sharp track. Makes the Rudy look a little bit galloping.
At least with this start, Mike, as opposed to the 6.5, they've got plenty of time to sort themselves out in the early stages.
Yeah, they had, Martin. That 6.5 start was quite something else, wasn't it? They ran into that turn pretty quickly.
And extraordinarily, it was the jockey drawn widest of all he managed to get across, make all and win.
Incredible. Yeah, that was a good ride, wasn't it? Okay, they're loading now. Out the back still is Fleur d'Ipanema, I think, and Amazing Rock is not in the gates yet either. Monceau's gone in. Viha Gold is not in yet either. That's number 7. There's Amazing Rock. Letitia Dominique looking for a second winner of the afternoon. And there is Torbolino behind. I'm just trying to, I haven't seen much of her down at the start. The cameras haven't picked her up, but she was in a real high state of nervous tension earlier on, unfortunately. Let's hope she's settled down a touch. Don't be spending all your energy too much. So Torbolino seems to be a bit more chilled now, which is good news. Speaking of chilled, its temperature's gone back to 0 again now, and from now on in it'll get colder as the day comes to an end and the nights start drawing in. Going forward, Fleur d'Ipanema. And Monceau is in. About 3 or 4 more to go in, I think. There's Billy Fly, Amazing Rock, Via Gold. And yes, Torbolino is not in either. I think the wind has got up too much more than what it had earlier in the day. It was very still this morning when we arrived at the track. And it's just starting to cloud over now for the first time, just in the last half an hour. There's a few clouds forming, very high clouds, obviously, because we're already over 6,000 feet up here at the lake. And locals telling me that they're expecting a bit of a stormy day here tomorrow up in the Engadine Valley. Now, last into the starting stalls, I understand, will be Via Gold and Billy Fly. That's why we're seeing lots of them, because they're meant to go in last, but I don't know why they're taking such a long time to put these other two in. Torbolino. This race was due off nearly 20 minutes ago now. Not as many stalls handlers here as you'd be getting at home in the UK, of course. I think Torbolino might be in. I can't see her wandering around at the back there. Amazing Rock next, yeah. So the last two, Billy Fly and Via Gold, they've got permission to go in last together, I guess. The others all waiting patiently. Right, Billy Fly, come on boy, in you go. 9 years old, Jenny Langhard, amateur, taking 3 kilos off. And finally, Via Gold. That's it. And clearing away. Set now. And away they go. And not a bad break either, too. They're racing over 1,800 meters here, 9 furlongs. And the defending champ, Runaway, got off to a very, very good start and is up there with the early pace. Monceau got a good start too. So too did Torbolino as they race through the first furlong. Those at the back at this stage include Fleur Dipanema and the grey Billy Fly, but as they come up past the enclosures now, there's a bit of a battle for the lead, and at this stage it's being won by Rennie Storm. So Rennie Storm goes on, Monceau, Amazing Rock and Torbolino close up behind them. Runaway on the inside rail is sitting handily behind these leaders. Swan Lake behind that one in the black jacket. Didn't handle that bend that particularly well there, Torbolino. Behind Torbolino being ridden along is Journey Flash at the last of the main group. Then there's a bit of a gap to the other three. Via Gold just passed there by Billy Fly and his stable companion at the rear there. Billy Fly's last, rather. Fleur de Lipanema in the same colours, also struggling to make up any ground on these leaders. But as they head down the back straight, Rennie Storm, Dennis Sheargan took a look between his legs there to see whether his rivals were. The lead is about 3 lengths. Racing in second place, Amazing Rock on the outside there of the veteran Runaway on his final start today. He's running a big race, actually. Be great if we go out with the winner here as he comes down then towards the entrance to the home straight. Still just over a furlong left to run here as Rennie Storm makes his big for glory. The 10-year-old Rennie Storm in front as they come down the home straight. Can they catch him? He's got 3 lengths on the field. Emerging for the pack is Torbolino, and Torbolino has gone second. She's trying very hard but can't pick up this leader. So too running on his Journey Flash. An easy win for Rennie Storm and Dennis Sheargan. In second place there, probably Swan Lake just got up to deny Journey Flash, and Torbolino was back in fourth. Runaway faded but ran well to finish 5th on his racecourse final appearance. Couldn't quite muster the gallop that he mustered 12 months ago when he won this race, but he's finished 5th. Not a bad effort at all. But Rennie Storm and Dennis Sheargan have absolutely hacked up here. 1 minute 58.3 seconds.
really great to see Dennis Schergen with a winner here as well. He's a good jockey and got a good tune out of this 10-year-old as well for Karen Weber. And he's done it pretty comfortably in the end, Mike. Just getting a bit tired coming close to the line. It was tight then between Swan Lake and back in Third Journey Flash, I think. Torbolino getting tired, but really good to see Dennis in the winners' enclosure here on the white turf.
You got the impression he was rather confident, Hayley, out of the back straight. He had a look behind him, didn't he? He was trying to just get the fractions right, and he clearly did. At this stage, I thought Torbolino was finishing off pretty well. It might have been that her anxiety in the early pre-racing, you know, that she was getting a little bit tense, wasn't she, before she went down to the start and went down very, very keen. She's run all right.
Yeah, fair play to John Best for being so honest as well, just saying it's not what he wants to see, and it's not ideal when a horse is getting that worked up. Comfortable, easy win.
It was.
That nicely.
Yeah. Swan Lake's run well, didn't she?
Yeah. Really well. Just hopefully next weekend John Best will be able to build on some of what the horses have done this weekend. They've not run bad, have they? They've all been there or thereabouts.
Yeah, they've done okay with that, really. Yeah, that's just missing out a little bit, which is a bit frustrating for them, all the effort getting them down there. But still another week to go. Good prize money next week.
Yeah, good to see Rafe Beckett's got, he's made the trip here as well. Paced himself nice and early for the horse to get acclimatised, I suppose, to the thin air up here in the mountains. And yeah, we'll have, I think, plenty of interest next weekend for the big finale.
And is Paul Webber bringing a horse down as well? I think he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
So there'll be plenty of British interest in the big race, at least next week, which will be fantastic to see. But the Chevrolet stable, Stahl Chevrolet, have won this one. Rennie Storm, Karen Suter-Weber, the trainer, and Dennis Schergen on board. A race that he controlled particularly skillfully. Coming back to win.
Really lovely ride. Really well judged as well.
Damit ist nicht der heutige Renntag gemeint, sondern eine tolle Rennkarriere.
Him and his father training the horses up here the last week.
Mit diesem Rennen, wenn noch einmal alles gegeben hat und einen 5. Platz herausgelaufen hat, geht in den verdienten Ruhestand.
The weather's been a lot kinder to us this weekend than last weekend, isn't it? The way it got a little bit bleak and cold by this time, didn't it?
It certainly did, yeah, no question about that. Just a few clouds forming in the background. You can't see further down the valley there where the clouds are building up a touch. Martin, all yours.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. We're just here walking back in from the main track, and the winning owner just been greeted here by Connections. It's a gentleman we've seen out on the track earlier on this week, lives locally here, Hugo Behrman has had success here. Many congratulations, Hugo.
Thank you.
How enjoyable was that to watch?
It's always splendid when you win in St. Moritz.
And you've had plenty of runners today. Some have ran well, but this fellow's done it well for you.
To our amazement.
Was he one of your better chances today, did you feel?
He is not the youngest anymore. Then you're always more careful, you worry more. But old soldiers never die.
And that must have been a really enjoyable race to watch. He was out there from the front from the very early stage.
We have a super jockey with Dennis, so.
We saw you here in the week on the track early in the morning. You've been coming here to St. Moritz for many years, haven't you?
That's true, and we love it here.
And does
so special.
Yeah, and does the winning feeling get any better with time?
No, the winning feeling is always wonderful.
And how many horses do you have in training, Hugo?
In Switzerland 5, and in Germany 3.
And more to come back here next weekend?
Yes, we hope so.
Anything in the Grand Prix?
Yes, we do hope so. But that's the trainers to decide.
Okay. Well, let you go and enjoy the success. Many congratulations.
Thank you. Huh?
There we go, our winning owner who does live locally. He's got a lovely flat here in St. Moritz, based down in Zurich principally, and a real enthusiast. Always immaculately turned out, Hugo, and he's been at the track this week with his binoculars watching his horses work, so it's great to see him here with a winner and a big smile on his face.
Martin, it's great scenes out here because Runaway's just done a little parade in front of the spectators, having his final start of his career. Won it 12 months ago, of course, at 13 years old. And Astrid Wulschläger, who rides him, was just pointing to, and he's just walking into the winner's enclosure now. He just finished 5th. So he'll be retired now. I'm sure he'll be extremely well looked after. So they're just preparing for the presentation for the final race today. Let's go back to Martin.
Yeah, they are indeed. The bottles of champagne ready to go. The flowers in their very decorative vase as well, ready to be handed out for our final race of the day. Won here by Rennie Storm in the colours of Stall Chevet. We just heard from Hugo, the winning owner, and a great front-running ride once again from Dennis Scherger. That's often been the place to be for much of the afternoon. It's been an advantage to be up on the pace, and Rennie Storm has come home well in front of his rivals. Torbolino gave chase in the closing stages, but just couldn't quite get on terms. On what's been yet another wonderful afternoon here on the white turf here at St. Moritz. The final race goes the way of Rennie Storm with some good performances throughout the course of the afternoon. We got underway with that race for the Trotters, in which Hugo de Tourtière won for Fanny Homburger. And another family success. Her mum had had winners here as a driver, and Fanny continues that success. The 26-year-old primary school teacher winning here on the white turf this afternoon. So Hugo de Tourtière won the first race. Our second race went the way of Notti Aroma, the first of two winners on the afternoon for trainer Claudia Ernie and also the owner Martina Stadelman. Notti Aroma bred by Martina Stadelman, so quite an emotional success for her. Another horse who made virtually all the running, and Cedric Hanois doing awfully well to get across from that wide stall in stall 8 to make virtually all the running over that sprint distance. Then we went into the skewering race, a terrific spectacle to watch, an amazing race, and it was Zambizo also for Claudia Ernie and Martina Stadelman who came home in front. Adrian von Gunten, he's enjoyed success in this race in the past for Peter Schergen, was actually on board Zambiso last year when the horse got loose early on, and it was just desserts for them. And then we had Ulster as well, a horse who's come across from the UK, formerly trained by Archie Watson, trained by Mario Weiss, the champion trainer here in Switzerland. That horse winning, having been in winning form last year at Kempton, in winning form here on the white turf this afternoon. So yeah, another thoroughly enjoyable afternoon. The atmosphere, Mike, here today has just been lovely. It's been bubbling under. There's a great feeling around. Everyone's happy, and the sun's been shining.
Yeah, it's been the best, hasn't it? This is what when we think about the white turf, Martin, we think about this, don't we? The blue skies, the sun shining, the snow flying as the horses gallop around this incredible lake. Certainly cranked up a bit since last week. It's quite a flat start to last week with the problems with the track, etc., etc. But yeah, great. Let's bring it on next weekend, eh?
And it does leave Haley plenty to look forward to next weekend. More British runners coming over as well.
Yeah, we were just saying that we've got a real interest anyway, but even better if we've got some UK horses coming to compete here. So it's been a very enjoyable afternoon. I'm thrilled to have seen the skewering. Something I don't know if I'll ever get the chance to do that. I just don't ski well enough, and I'm not
wouldn't put it past her at all. But listen, you've been riding out this week on that surface.
Yeah,
it's been great.
It's been it's been an amazing experience just to have gone out there and raced on that snow, that ice, and that feeling has been quite unique and something not many people get the opportunity to do. So I'm very thankful to the Von der Eck team.
Yes. I've just seen Christian. He's in good shape, Christian, considering he got smashed on the slopes and his horses have not been exactly taking home all the prizes. He's always a good humour, though.
He was actually just saying, Mike, that I think the airport's closing. We might be stuck here for another week.
I don't mind that at all. I don't want to go home. I've had a great week here. Despite being a man who likes to lie on the beach.
Far worse places, aren't there, to be stranded out than here. That is for sure, yeah. Anyway, it's been a pleasure, Martin. Good fun.
It has indeed. Well, many thanks to Haley and to Mike. Thanks to you at home for tuning in as well here at St. Moritz. We're back next week for week 3 of the white turf racing. Do join us back here at a sun-kissed St. Moritz.